the testimony, I just want to explain to people, this is federal court. I've been down there reporting for News Nation. Our producers go inside, but we can't really communicate because there's no cameras and there's not very many people who can live tweet from inside, but you're able to do it. Why is that?
Yeah, sure. At first, I want to say that there really should be cameras allowed in federal court. It's kind
Agreed.
of an anachronism. I think, particularly, there's even no cameras when there's no jury present. I think the idea behind the rule initially was that somehow people would grandstand for the jury, or it's a sort of a holdover rule that should be repealed. But that courthouse has like an in-house press corps. I wasn't initially in it. In fact, when I first went there, it was to cover like a UN bribery trial, and I was there every day, and I saw other journalists that had electronics, and I couldn't bring mine in, and I would run outside, like I guess you're saying that you do, like, and it was in the snow. Once you've been there for a while, they explain to you that it can't just be for one case, no matter what a big journalist you are, what a big case it is. It's for, like, if you really cover the court, which I really like the court. I no longer really am able to cover the UN, so I'm covering. I to be honest with you, I write like 10 stories a day about SDNY, not all file cases, but
you definitely have a lot on your X, and I encourage people to follow you. Let's talk about what's happened so far in the last 2 weeks. I want to ask you, you've been inside the courtroom, you've been watching Sean Combs, you have been watching the witnesses on the stand coming and going, and that's always such a dramatic thing when you see a witness come from the back of the courtroom going into the well, getting up on the witness stand. So let's talk about what has stuck out to you the most, winners and losers for prosecution and defense.
I think it's less. I'm definitely always interested in how, people's. I'm more interested in the jurors' faces. They're the ones who will ultimately be voting on guilt or innocence. But I think what people need to understand is this is not a normal racketeering case. Like I'm not saying that they're not going to be able to prove it, but I'm saying there are a lot of racketeering cases which are basically it was a law created for the mafia, and it's since been deployed largely on drug gangs and things like that. So their burden here is to show that employees of Combs Enterprises and Bad Boy Records buying lubricant and cleaning up hotel rooms are the elements to make it that this was the entire enterprise was devoted toward servicing Diddy's seemingly, I think he would even abnormal sexual proclivities. So I don't know. It's that I think a lot of it's going to ride on that. I think that people hear the report. You see the CNN, the video that was put on CNN. It's actually not CNN video. It was video from the hallways of the Intercontinental Hotel, and it largely survived because one of the guards who did testify, for his own purposes. It was like on a screen in the hotel security office. He filmed it with his phone in order to show his wife. This video was shown to the jury, and it's terrible, but you have to step back and say this is not a domestic violence case. It's a racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution case. The elements are there, but I'm waiting. I think he has 10 defense lawyers, and many of them are quite accomplished and did, for example, on the expert witness Don Hughes, this lawyer they had just brought in called Jonathan Bach, who's actually the husband of one of the other lawyers, his kind of appellate lawyer, Alexander Shapiro. I think he did it. Just objectively, whatever you think, I'm getting a lot of pushback from people that say that Don Hughes is a great expert. She was in the Amber Heard Johnny Depp case. She's been in a lot of cases, but he did a very good job. And over the weekend, even they've put in a filing trying to exclude all of her testimony.
Now you're saying, and let me just stop you right there, because it's Sean Combs' defense team that is working to exclude the testimony of an expert who can talk about domestic violence and why people stay with their abusers. So we'll wait and see what happens there. I only have time for one more question, Matthew. So I want to ask you, I saw that you posted on X that the prosecution has about 4 more weeks. The defense won't even get a crack at putting on their witnesses for 4 more weeks. And you mentioned about the testimony that's already been laid out. So there is more to go. And many people are wondering, are we going to get to these racketeering charges? There is more that will be coming that hopefully will be more substantial beyond some of the testimony we've seen so far.
I think so. Maybe they've had to get. There's another victim who's going to testify, victim 2, and I think that's going to be a good 3 days. But I think that we have they've sketched their case, and their case is that these are terrible acts, and it's coercion. There's a show of violence. They had a hairdresser say that she saw, Cassie with a black eye. But I think that it's this nexus between, they've had a number of personal assistants who described like driving with Combs down to meet Suge Knight and they had guns. The defense tried to say that wasn't relevant, but it's this constant bid to show.
Hey, you guys, welcome to the chat. Yes, I am starting to try to get set up here. I haven't done these live tweets for a minute, so I'm going to try to do that today. But welcome, loving myself, Michael. Hey, you guys. I am not in New York right now, you guys, so I'm trying to cover it a different way. And, you know, inner city press is the primary person inside the court that's able to tweet out. So we're going to be using his tweets, some from the New York Post and stuff. So yeah, you guys, they're already in the courtroom. I kind of understand what this setup is now, but I think the judge is talking to the attorneys. I don't think the jury has been brought in yet. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing inner city press's tweets. So basically, let's see, let me add that. Oops, you guys, what am I doing? Hey, Anthony Green, welcome to the chat. Please hit that like button when you guys come in. So I'm going to be trying to read this. It's kind of, it'll be small for you guys, but you can enlarge the screen. So generally, before they would bring in the jury every morning, they would kind of, I'm going to kind of say it's like a sidebar, but the attorneys and the judges, the attorneys would meet with the judge and they would kind of air out any grievances. So I don't see that they've actually started court with the jurors. So let's go back up here. And the judge is saying, let's address this. All the government is saying is that the message shows Ms. Ventura's state of mind. Combs, and when I say Combs, that means his legal team. So I'll probably say the government or the judge or Combs. Combs, that's the problem with not being able to recall Ms. Ventura as a witness. So last week, after Cassie took the witness stand and they did the cross and everything, the defense wanted to bring her back, you know, because they're trying to say if they can't fully, you know, there was an issue about the time. And so the defense was a little bit annoyed because they wanted more time with Cassie, and you know, Cassie is pregnant. So they were talking about possibly going into continuing her testimony into that following Monday. But the judge was like, no, you're going to need to be done by a certain time. So they were debating and arguing back and forth as to what they had agreed upon in terms of the time of her testimony on the stand. So this is what they're addressing here. They want her to come back. And we've been talking about this because, I mean, honestly, a lot of people felt like Nicole Westmoreland did an awesome job with Dawn on the stand, and that she should have been the one crossing Cassie for the defense. But, you know, so they really want another shot at Cassie. So if they don't get the opportunity to cross her again, many of the legal analysts are saying that this will be brought up, and this will be something that if Diddy loses this case, if he's convicted, that it's going to be brought up on appeal. So, and I agree with that. So government, Mr. Nash will quote it. He's making me freak off on my birthday. She didn't want to go. Combs. A spouse might say he's making me go to Rangers game. I'd rather not tonight. Judge, you could have cross-examined Miss Ventura about this. So they're going over prior testimony and things that they could have done. Judge, every day now I'm getting these letters. These issues should have been raised pre-trial in motions in limine. Inner City Press filed these letters to get in the docket, and now they're going in. So Inner City Press had filed that there were emails exchanges back, but kind of behind the scenes. And Inner City Press was saying that for transparency, everything should be public, you know, things that aren't like redacted or things that are not sealed should be available for the press. And so Inner City Press was saying that he actually won that. So the letters are going to be entered into the docket, and these are things that were filed previously. So let's see what we want to get into the testimony. So let's see what's going on. So I'll be refreshing my screen, you guys. The way that he does, I mean, no, and I'm not knocking it because thank you for Inner City Press, but it's a little bit tricky, like to see when they get the updates. It's like it'll be this long list and you have to keep refreshing your screen. Okay, you guys. So now it's starting. Judge, let's bring our jury in. All rise. Jurors enter. Government. The government calls LAPD officer Christopher Ignacio. The witness takes the stand. Government, what is a radio call? So now we're straight into testimony, you guys. What is a radio call? Ignacio, and this is the person being on the witness stand. Someone calls 911 and it gets sent to next available LAPD unit on duty. Okay, you guys, now just remember, it takes a second for the updates to come in. So if you guys could see, I'm using my cursor. This is what we will be listening to. This is what I'll be reading as he tweets them out live. Okay, so we're still waiting. And so, yeah, it takes a minute for the, it takes a minute before they actually update. So there will be a little gap. I apologize for that, but y'all, this is kind of what we're working with. Let's see. Come on, Inner City Press, give us the drama, baby. We want to hear the testimony. You guys, here's another thing I noticed. I apologize for coughing too. It's what they tweet, even though they're kind of giving you the verbiage, is very different than watching it live in the exchange between the attorneys and the person on the witness stand. I think you when you're visually seeing the person, their facial expressions, although it is on a monitor, it's just different than when they're relaying it. It's kind of like second party, telephone, and you kind of lose some of it. I've noticed that. So that's why, y'all, I can't wait to get back there so I can be sitting in there. The problem with being in the court is that we can't take our phones and we can't talk to you guys live like Inner City Press. So then it's kind of at the end of the day, you guys are getting the stuff as it's going on and we're trying to recap it for you. So some people have mastered it. I haven't. I ain't gonna lie, I haven't mastered that part yet. But yeah, it's still interesting. It's a lot of fun, you guys. Let's see what's going on. It's kind of slow because the other thing is that when you're literally in the courtroom, it's kind of going pretty fast unless there's, unless there are little sidebars and everything. Government says on December 22nd, 2011, what was your shift? Ignacio, 6 a.m., 6 p.m. in a marked police vehicle. Government, what do you remember? Ignacio, got a call around 8 a.m., code 3 with lights and sirens to 8925 Hollywood Hills Road. Government, what did you find there? A, an Escalade. So you guys, and okay, I probably should be interjecting my opinion. I think what they're doing is going back to, from just off the top of my head, I can remember the dates. They're going back to Capricorn Clark. So they are methodically every day building, like those not the Rubik's cubes, them little blocks kids use. They're methodically building their case and building on the testimony day by day by day. Because they said in the opening, we're going to show you how Combs and they listed all of the things that they were going to show. So now we had Capricorn Clark yesterday. We had Kid Cudi. And so they're just going and showing us what I believe what they're building up to is this whole arson thing. We've had the kidnapping, and now we're getting into the arson here. Let's see here. Ignacio, I memorized the license plate. Government, why? Ignacio, I thought it could be involved in a crime. The way it was left soon as we got there. Government, why didn't you go after it? Ignacio, we didn't have a crime yet. The front door was unlocked. We went in. Yep. So this is actually that scene that night when I believe Capricorn Clark said that they went up to Kid Cudi's house and all of that stuff. So this is what this is about. And this is LAPD. Well, y'all know LAPD is kind of funky, though. Y'all remember with the OJ trial? Oh, Mark Furman. So LAPD, we know y'all have a history of being a little janky. So we're still waiting for the next update. I'm going to go poke around on some other sites and see what they saying, you guys. Let's see. Because you kind of got to poke. There are some other live updates that are a little bit clear, but this is the one that people say is the most reliable. Let's see. So while we're waiting for that update, it says Lance Jimenez, an arson investigator with the Los Angeles Fire Department, will take the stand in Sean Combs' trafficking trial on Wednesday to testify about his report of a 2012 explosion in Kid Cudi's driveway. The rapper, whose legal name is Scott Muscudi, y'all, sorry if I'm saying it wrong, told the jury last week that Combs blew up his Porsche after learning that Muscudi was dating Cassie Ventura, Combs' on and off girlfriend at the time. Okay. Loving Myself says, just got back on. You're still in New York. No, I'm back in California, but I'll be back there in a couple weeks. Natalie says, I don't believe it's real. I think it's all actors, mask, distractions from everything they are doing around us, laws being changed, etc. I don't believe they're actors. I mean, things happen in the world, and these are real things that are happening. I mean, I'm not an actor. We're witnessing. It would be too much of an orchestration for all of this to be actors and the amount of money and everything. So this is real. It's real. John says, free Diddy. Y'all know it's like Diddy has a lot of support, believe it or not. When we were out there, there are people driving by, they're holding signs, they're wearing free Diddy. I mean, that crowd has kind of died down, but yeah, Diddy does have support. I'm kind of neutral. I just kind of am watching as a spectator. I don't have a dog in the fight. So, government, what did you see? Ignacio, high-end watches and purses, some wrapped, some unwrapped. 2 detectives showed up. When we came out, I saw the same black Escalade now driving down the hill. Government, then what? Mr. Muscudi arrived in a Porsche. So remember when, I'm going to narrate a little bit just based on what I remember on the notes that I took. Remember when Capricorn said that they left, right? They saw the police and Diddy was kind of nervous. So I think he's saying when they saw that Escalade going down the hill. Now, y'all know another thing that just being at the trial, which is crazy, Diddy's camp, because remember, Diddy still got money, y'all. He's still financing his family. All of these people and Diddy, when they arrive to the court, his girlfriends and everything, they come in the Escalades, right? Or the Sprinters, the Mercedes Sprinters. It's just like money. You're a star. And so I could see how these women were mesmerized by all of this. A lot of these women, I feel are complicit. Y'all hung around Diddy because of the lifestyle. Y'all got smacked upside your head. Y'all let him talk ish to you because people are saying, well, Cassie, she was battered. Well, hell, Capricorn stayed too. She was still trying to get employment from him. So I think it's the lifestyle, y'all. People, and listen, when you got kids to feed, you will turn a blind eye to some ish. It's what it is. Let's see. So he's describing the event when they went to Kid Cudi's house. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So he's still waiting to hear. So let's go over, see what else they're talking about. I'm on another site, you guys. I don't want to leave that site and like go back and forth with you guys because sometimes it gets a little crazy. So they're saying after Capricorn Clark's testimony, focus shifts to Kid Cudi's car bombing in Combs' case. So they're really trying to show us that there was a, that it was arson. Day 11 of Sean Diddy Combs' trafficking and racketeering conspiracy trial is expected to bring more witness testimony about the alleged blowing up of Kid Cudi's car in January 2012, with 2 Los Angeles officials, including an arson investigator, taking the stand. Now, it's interesting because the defense team made a point to say it was female DNA. However, a lot of us believe that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean Diddy didn't do it. He may have had somebody else. Did you think Diddy gonna have his hands or his fingerprints on anything? No. Not the diddler, no. So the fact that they mentioned it was kind of weird, because are you saying that it was one of his assistants? And if it was one of his females that did it, then that would still implicate him. Or I don't know. I don't know where he's going with this. A lot of us were trying to figure out, what's your point? Fidel Short says, no way. I don't know. No way what? I don't know what you're saying, but okay. I don't know. No way what? Like, put some context to it, right? So, let's see. All right, let's go back, see what they saying. Inner City Press is a little delayed because he's typing and he's got to get it out to us. So, got to be a little patient, because ain't no cameras up in the court. Let's see. Yeah, so they must still be having a sidebar or something, because we're still waiting for the next comments. Still waiting. The last thing they landed on was the fact that Kid Cudi arrived in his Porsche. So I didn't see them say a sidebar or anything, but usually that's what happens. It'll be a few minutes. You guys, it's so early. Wait, look, is it 6:30? Oh my God, it's 6:30 here in California. I'm still sleepy, y'all. That's why I'm not on camera, because I took a quick shower, but I look a mess, right? I was like, girl, get out the bed. I think I woke up like at 5. And I was like, you could do it. You could do it. So, and I know I sound like I got a frog in my throat because it's so early. I haven't even had my coffee yet. So let's go back here. So I'm back on the Washington Post to see if they got any. Okay, they got a new update. What are they saying? Revisiting Capricorn Clark's extraordinarily messy testimony. You guys, Capricorn Clark, I thought her and Cassie were tight. She threw Cassie under the bus to me. She was like, she's not talented. She made it look like, so some of the stuff that Cassie said about this girlfriend thing, about she couldn't focus on her career because Diddy was, making her do so many freak offs. I think Capricorn Clark kind of destroyed that, or at least kind of poked holes in that, because she was saying that Diddy did give her a lot of resources, but just that Cassie wasn't that talented. And this is from Anne what's her name? Anne Brannigan. Wait, hold on. Let me go back and see what they're saying. Because I don't want us to miss the testimony. But if we're still waiting, I'll bring this one up. What's Inner City Press saying? I hate that you guys got there. You got to keep scrolling. Okay, they're back. Government, you ran the plate of the Escalade. Ignacio, yes, it came back as Bad Boy Records. Oh, so he was there. So they got a card. Government, no further questions. Oops. When they say no further questions, they pretty much be like, we're done. We've shown everything we need to show. Judge, cross-examination, Mr. Steele. Oh, snap, Mr. Steele, in my opinion, Mr. Steele and Nicole Westmoreland have been the best. See, y'all are getting the tweets. We are hearing them live. And when I'm telling you, they are on it. I wish they would even let us listen, because you can hear the sarcasm. You can hear like Nicole Westmoreland. She was very matter of fact. She was very, stern in her. And then some of the other attorneys, their demeanor, it's more like how I would do it, like kind of nice. But I mean, so you can hear their voices, hear how they command the jurors. Like, I think that's so important. The judge is like, cross-examination, Mr. Steele, Combs, Brian Steele. So Brian Steele is doing the cross. This was 13 years ago, right? Ignacio, yes. Steele, you read your partner's report? A, yes. Now, here's another thing. There was one witness, Daniel. Okay, I got to go get my notes, you guys, so I can get their names exactly right. One of Diddy's, so we're waiting for the next tweets. One of Diddy's assistants, and he was talking about how, back then they would be up till 4:00 in the morning. Sometimes they wouldn't get sleep. And so it was crazy because he was saying, he was giving so much detail. He was so emphatic about everything, right? And then the cross was like, but wait a minute. You don't remember something that happened 2 weeks ago, but you're going to tell me you remember something that happened dang near 20 years ago, 4 a.m. in the morning, when you said you were overworked, you done dang near smoked a marijuana. Like, give me a break. So it's just crazy how they cross people up, You can remember something that long ago, but you don't remember something you did 2 weeks ago. I'm not buying it. Okay. So let's see. Back to what they're saying. I hope they have an update. Yeah, we're still waiting. Okay, so let's go back to this one. So this is Anne Brannigan, and they got multiple people that are giving live updates. Some of these people are in the courtroom, some people are outside, and then they're giving stuff to, the major platforms. So, and Brannigan says some insights into how messy Capricorn Clark's testimony was Tuesday afternoon. At one point, Judge Arun Subramanian urged defense attorney Mark Agnifilo to wrap up his cross-examination because it wasn't in anyone's best interest for former Sean Combs associate to return to the stand Wednesday. So these are like some of the behind the scenes, stuff that they're giving you guys or giving us. Clark was incomprehensible at several points during her afternoon testimony. Yeah, her crying. She got very emotional, giving rambling answers in response to Agnifilo's questioning and breaking down multiple times, leading to Subramanian asking for a sidebar. I do have more, Agnifilo said, per court transcripts. I would love to get her off the stand. So he's like saying, hold up. I would love to get her off, but hell, I got questions. I'm trying to defend my client. I don't think it's in anyone's best interest to have the witness come back tomorrow. Okay, yeah, Judge Subramanian, he's very cool. He likes to be concise and get things done. He doesn't like to have things drag on. I noticed that about him. So, and he's pretty fair. It's not like he's trying to help the defense or the prosecuting team, but he's always mindful of people's time. He's mindful of the jurors, and he's just trying to keep them on point because he knows attorneys. Y'all, if you work with attorneys, you already know they will run amok, okay? They are solely focused on their agenda, and they don't give a damn about nobody else. Okay, let's go back here. Let's see. So we're back. No way they released Diddy, please. No, he's not. Honestly, guys, I don't want to be premature because, of course, they got about 3 more weeks. The prosecution team has about 3 more weeks of witnesses. I honestly, I'm trying to be fair in my judgment. And with the history, statistically, let's just say it like this, because I know some people get upset. It's against him. It's statistically, he's probably not going to win, y'all. Excuse me. So we're back. Combs. I should say still. The streets are dead ends. Ignacio, according to the map, still. It's a beautiful neighborhood. Y'all know Beverly Hills is gorgeous. right? A cul-de-sac, Ignacio, sure. Still, you don't follow the car as it drives away, right? Ignacio, right. Still, did you see a Porsche? A, I don't know. Oh, you don't know, you don't remember. Okay. Let me see what you guys are saying. So Samaya says no way they released Diddy. Writing from music say he locked up for show. Yes, he is locked up for show. Kurt says you need to go to bed. No, boo, I just got up. No, they didn't. Why would somebody say that they released Diddy? They have not released Diddy, and honestly, I don't think they're gonna release Diddy, to be honest. I hate to say it, but that's my thoughts at this point. Being a freak is not a crime. Nope, it's not. But they're trying to establish more than they're not. It's, you guys got to remember though, it's not just about him being a freak. They're also saying that he used certain methods to intimidate and coerce people, bribery, arson, kidnapping. So it's expanded beyond just the scope of these freak offs, right? They're trying to say that there's a criminal enterprise. Jamal said he's walking. Okay, Jamal, let's see. I mean, we got to wait for the defense to present their side, right? Because at this point, I mean, you know, I had to kind of understand what a RICO is. I understood it traditionally, but they are expanding kind of. It's not like this case is unprecedented, but it's not the typical RICO. So just take, yes, you're right. Just take one juror to have a shadow of a doubt. You're absolutely right about that. I think that he's going to get charged on something. I don't think all of the charges that he's facing, it was it like 14 counts. I just don't see him walking. So, but some of the legal experts, I'm not an attorney. I was only a litigation secretary. You know, Diddy done diddled these nuts. I just think I don't see. I just can't see it at this. But like I said, it's still too soon to call. That would be premature. That's like saying a game. Somebody won a game until you get to the final inning. You don't know. You really just don't know. The fat lady has not sung, but she warming up and she getting close. Okay, so we're still waiting for Inner City Press to give us an update. We're into 3 minutes, so we're waiting. So let's go back over here. Oh, okay. The judge has been trying. Okay, you guys. So I'm going back and forth. I'm going to the post now. The judge has been trying to excuse the jury at 3 p.m. Okay, yeah. So that was something that came up today when I was there. We were running to like 5, and sometimes a couple of times we ran after 5. When I tell you guys, we were having, well, when Cassie was there, I think they were really trying to get that her testimony, and she was on the stand for like 3 days, and they were 3 long days. And so we were going up until like after 5, you know, I think the latest we got out one time was like 5:20 or something like that. But apparently with the MDC, they were getting Diddy back to the MDC too late. Like they have a rigid schedule. He is not the only jail person or inmate that has to get back and forth to court, right? And so it was kind of, they have a schedule as well. So the judge was saying that they needed to get Diddy back in time. And it says the judge has been trying to excuse the jury at 3 p.m. most days, but said court could continue longer Tuesday to ensure that Clark's testimony would finish. Agnifilo promised to cut some stuff from his questioning. Do what you need to do. Okay. Yeah. So this is something, I guess this is something that they were discussing yesterday, that they would go beyond the 3 o'clock. When I tell you getting out of there at after 3 was, it was treacherous, because then there's the traffic. And then when Diddy would leave, it would be like a line of police cars, or we're assuming, because every time when we're outside, like we would get excused before before he would leave, because I guess they got to take him through whatever they do. It would be all of these sirens, and people be like, oh, there go Diddy, Diddy's leaving. And these like minivans of police and stuff. It was crazy, y'all. It's a lot to take in. Okay, let's go back to Inner City Press. Let's see. I'm doing a refresh, you guys. Let's see what they're saying. Okay. Okay, still no updates from Inner City Press. We're still waiting. Jamal said Diddy is a foul. He said Diddy is a foul, and I agree with you on that one. Come on now. It's just crazy because the kind of lifestyle that they lived. Cindy Prim says Diddy is cooked. I'm leaning with Diddy is in a lot of hot water. If he gets out of this one, I mean, he's gotten out of some mess before, but this ain't that, y'all. This ain't that. This is the Southern District, and they have become very methodical about getting these people locked up. They've had some big cases, you know, the Epstein and Ghislaine and all of these folks. They're not playing with Diddy. I don't know if his money is going to be enough to get him out. I just don't. I don't think he's just going to walk the way a lot of people think, you know. And this is not me, you know, not saying I honestly, I'm kind of neutral. I'm pretty neutral in it. Diddy is cooked. Exactly. These are the feds. Comey has like her record is impeccable. The people that are coming after him, I know he has a dream team. Like they said, OJ had the dream team, but it's like, man, you know, and I think that video was damning, the one with Cassie, although it's kind of like, okay, we'll talk about that later, but I feel like the feds are kind of that. I don't know that was really her leaving a freak off. I just don't believe that necessarily. I believe that the feds kind of made it a freak off after, because she would be complicit and she, you know, she would have been a co-conspirator. So since they had a little dirt on her, they were able to lean on her and kind of make it fit the narrative that they wanted. I really believe that. And that's what they do. The Punisher was on last night on Morales' show. And like he said, the prosecutors are not your friend, not you or anybody. Okay, you guys, we're back. So Combs still says, do you know the definition of a kidnapping? Government says objection. Judge says sustain. Still, were you told the homeowner was in the house shortly before you and your partner got there? Government objection. Judge overruled. Still, the door was unlocked. A, yes. Okay, so A means yes, and that's answer. Okay. Yeah, so you guys, I feel like the government, because some of these people really did not want to testify. The Punisher was on last night, and he was saying that, maybe I could show you guys. Let me see if I can find that. The Punisher was on last night, and he said he thought his testimony was actually helping the defense, right? So I don't know. Okay, let me see if I could. I'm looking for it, you guys. Hold on, because I was really shocked, you know. And it lets you know that all of these people, they're making people testify that don't necessarily want to, and so because of that, they're able to. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay, I'm waiting for it to download. This guy is the Punisher. He was on, I think, day 5. I saw his testimony. Maybe I have the days wrong, but he was saying
they just want to win their case, you know. Right. So how you end up, how you don't end up, it's nerve-wracking, man. So I'm just happy it's over.
Okay, let's go back.
Rely on to give advice because nobody's been through it, you know. And man, the prosecution, man, dealing with the federal government is tough because they're not your friend, right? They just want to win their case, you know. Right. So how you end up, how you don't end up, it's nerve-wracking, man. So I'm just happy it's over. It's crazy.
I mean, I feel like nobody's your friend in that courtroom. Nobody's whether it's the defense, prosecution, they just want to use you for whatever motive or reason, whether it's good or bad, and then you're really on your own when you step in that, when you step out that. Did you look at Diddy whilst you were discussing this, or were you like, was he looking at you? Did you even? I'm sure you must have like quickly looked at him or glanced, but like how was that process?
So listen, man, when I got in there, I went out of my way to avoid any eye contact, looking that direction, because when I'm called to the stand, I'm there to testify against him. So I'm sure whatever energy he has is going to start out unfavorable. So I didn't want to be influenced by that. Look, man, I perceive myself as like a confident guy. You know, I'm not like the type to be intimidated and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And my man, when I got on that stand, I was trembling.
Yeah.
Like I will honestly say I was trembling, and I didn't even know
Oh, y'all, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, so let me go back and read it then. My bad. Sorry, you guys. Let me scroll up. I'm glad I looked. Okay. So we are back. Okay. Inner city press. Okay, so we're back with still. Do you know the definition of a kidnapping? Government, objection. The judge says sustained. Still says, were you told the homeowner was in the house shortly before you and your partner got there? Government, objection. Judge, overruled. Still, the door was unlocked? Answer, yes. Still, there was no furniture upended, right? Ignacio, no. Still, you called it trespass, not a burglary, right? Because government, objection. Judge, I think sustained. Still, no report of theft? No. Still, if you thought there was a G win in the Escalade, you could have put out a bolo. And I just read a bolo is a be on the lookout for. So basically he's saying if you thought it was so bad, you would have put out like, an alert to other officers. Government, objection. Judge, overruled. Still, you didn't, right? Ignacio, right? Still, any mention of security cameras? Ignacio, I saw some. Combs, still, Mr. Muscati wasn't hyperventilating, right? Ignacio, he was tense, I'd say. Still, did you search his Porsche? Ignacio, no. Still, it was 8:20 a.m., not 6:30 a.m., right? Ignacio, right. Still, nothing further, no redirect. So basically, I guess what he's pointing out, the cross is just stating that you guys didn't file there was no police report or anything saying that this was something critical, like there was damage or anything like the incident reports, nothing. You just called it a trespassing. And so you didn't put out a bolo. So it wasn't as serious as you guys are alluding to now that we're in court. That's the stance that he's taken. I don't think this was I don't think he slammed him, but it's like if it was such a big deal, you didn't make it. Your incident reports and your police and your reporting does not align with that. Okay, so they said no redirect, so I guess they're going to be calling the next witness, and that should happen pretty quickly. The person has to get sworn in. So let's go back here just for a few minutes.
Why it's seriously overwhelming, like to be in that situation. And I lucked up because I don't know if you recall, but my testimony was like right before lunch. So I got on for like 10 minutes and then they broke for lunch. And I was able to kind of compose myself and come back. But when I first walked in there, I couldn't believe it myself because I'm like, I'm good, man, I was shaking. And I didn't actually look at Diddy till after my testimony when I was walking out.
And what would you describe him as from what you saw? Because, we see court sketches. We're not in there. We're not in the courtrooms. And people who are in the courtrooms, they may be behind him, but of course you'll have a much better glance. Would you describe his appearance to be very different to what you knew him to be when you were?
Yeah, you can definitely see the stress, weight loss. Like it's weighing on him, man. Here's a guy that obviously living a life of luxury.
Right.
For all these years, and now he's in a cell with his life in balance. So you can see where it's taking a toll. It's definitely noticeable.
I mean, you look great. I know you said that you've lost a lot of weight and it's stressful, and that your face is good. You look like you have good energy on your face. You got a good shirt on. I commend you because this must have been one of the most intense moments of your life. You're just like, what am I going to say if I might slip up? You're under oath. Diddy's in the corner looking at you, and it's just like.
Shout out to everybody in the chat, especially Lulu's Divine Flow, my moderator. Thank you, Lulu, for joining today. You guys, please go follow Lulu's Divine Flow on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And y'all, yes, please hit the like button. Let's get the likes up. Thank you.
The press, you know, and of course what you have done in regards to, you know, it's being labeled as a freak off and etc. So all of that, the freak offs have been the most infamous part of this Diddy trial and, you know, Cassie's lawsuit. So I definitely commend you 110% on being able to overcome this from a mental avenue, because I think I heard you speak about how difficult this is and how it was for you back then and now. So my question to you is, I know that I've been told you have a book out, and I'm curious to know what this book is about.
So the book is called In Search of Freezer Meat, right? It's a crazy name. I wanted it to be a memorable name, but it's really centered around erectile dysfunction. You know, every time you turn on the TV, you see a Cialis commercial, a Viagra.
Again, you guys, this is Punisher. This is one of the escorts that testified, I think, the first week, and he talked about Diddy and Cassie and his experience with them. And he, I kind of want to say that the way he talked about it made it kind of seem like Cassie, I'm just going to say, my interpretation was that she may have liked it, a couple of the encounters. Yeah.
Commercial, somebody's advertising a honey pack or something. So obviously guys are struggling, and I went through my own period struggling similarly. After a bad breakup, I went for like a year without being able to get an erection, and it was trauma induced. I did some research and I found out there was nothing wrong with me physically, and 50.
Okay, it looks like they're back. So okay. Government calls LA arson investigator Lance Jimenez. I'll place a binder in front. Witness takes the stand. Government, how many fires have you investigated? Jimenez, 100 a year. Everything between mansions to dumpster fires. LA is pretty crazy. So we have a new witness on the stand. It's a guy. Okay. Yes, you guys, please hit the like button. Let's get the likes up, y'all. Let's get the likes up. So you guys already know the drill. Waiting for the updates from Inner City Press. Takes a minute. We have to continue to refresh. While we're waiting, go back here.
80% of all cases of ED is mental.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, it's nobody's talking about it, right? Everybody's trying to fix a mental issue with a physical fix, popping a pill that just makes it worse.
Right.
And for me, it got so bad for me mentally, I went all the way in and actually got a penis implant, which is one of the best decisions of my life. That this needs to be talked about more because it's a big deal. It's the bomb. So
what is that? Sorry, is that something that is like an enlargement?
No, it's not an enlargement, man. It's actually like a device, like a medical device that they can implant inside your existing penis, and it controls your erection. Yeah, and it's already a bestseller. I got guys in my DM thanking me because they had nowhere to turn or whatever. So it's going pretty good.
Did you mention Diddy and Cassie in your book? Was there any conversation?
I did. That's the reason why it came up in testimony. You know, people think I just went up there and gave my book a shout out, but no, that wasn't the case. Because I mentioned it, even though I didn't name any names, I tried to make it as this.
You guys, please hit the like button. Let's get the likes up. And this is Fair Use Commentary. Fair Use Commentary. This is the Punisher, one of the escorts they slept with, Cassie and Diddy.
Discreet as possible. I called them a married couple, so it doesn't tie in. There were certain things, because it was written before the charges, I mentioned baby oil. You know, I mentioned baby oil. I mentioned these things, so they were able to tie it in. So the prosecutors just asked me about it on direct. Like, hey, I heard you wrote a book. They wanted to emphasize that the book was written before the trial of the charges. And then the defense actually cross-examined me on it, but it didn't go too far into the case details.
So there was a lot of conversation in regards to how that Diddy would obviously use the baby oil, which we know that's something that, you know, he obviously wanted to use, but there was so much conversation about substances being in that baby oil. Do you know any of that, or can you corroborate that, or was that something that you simply did not witness, or that he would lather this on a body and the bodies were not able to move, or something like that?
I cannot corroborate that. Like I did not get that experience at all. Everything seemed pretty normal to me.
Right.
And the only thing I can say in hindsight, which is just me just saying it, but I do realize that for how many encounters it was, I don't have a lot of recollection, like memory wise, you know. I don't know if that could.
So he's kind of alluding to that it's possible that maybe he was rugged doing those encounters with Cassie and Diddy.
Somebody pointed out in a comments where I said this somewhere else that, hey, that could have been an effect. But, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I don't feel like I was ever influenced or under any type of substance that altered anything. So I can't really speak to that.
Was there any moments of uncomfortability, or was it more so, this is what I'm, you know, been told to do? It is, you know, and I'm here to do it, and I've obviously left. Did you witness any uncomfortability, or was it just you knew what you were doing, job done, it is what it is?
Yeah, I mean, I had personal uncomfortability just based on the fact that, you know, look, I'm a male stripper, not a male escort. So walking into a scenario to try to do these sexual acts with what I'm thinking is a married woman and her partner was uncomfortable within itself.
And you guys, I don't know if you guys were watching his testimony, but during his testimony, he said that Diddy used to cover his face up. He would wear like the hijab or the burqa, you know, what the women wear. And so he would have his face covered and he would not want the men to look in his eyes. And so what happened was he didn't even know it was Diddy and Cassie because Cassie would wear a wig. But he was in one of the rooms one day in one of the suites when they were getting ready for a freak off. So he was sitting there, and so he turned the TV on, and the TV came on and said, "Welcome, Mr. Combs." That's how he found out it was Diddy, right? That was crazy.
And, you know, like I testified to, I did see moments with Cassie maybe sighing or showing some frustration, but it appeared to be just with the directions. There were a lot of directions in terms of positioning your body, moving lights and stuff like that that were repetitive. But in my actual experience, I didn't see or experience anything that looked like discomfort or distress or anything to that degree.
Wow. I mean, the memory loss from your times with Diddy and Cassie, I think is very interesting. I think, you know, there could be some trauma related there, or maybe just the fact that maybe it was a long time ago. It could be many reasons all mixed up together. But is it specifically with Diddy and Cassie you have memory loss, or just in general?
Okay, you guys, I'm going back to the chat. Lulu says, anyone knows why he used baby oil? What was his purpose? He has some kind of a fetish or obsession with this baby oil. What we're finding out is that there was no GHB as initially reported. It sounds like it's something for him. He's just obsessed with it. He wants people, whenever they're having relations, he wants your body to be dripping with baby oil. There was one time where they were in a hotel and he filled up, they got a blow up pool, you know, like one of those little pools I guess a kid would be in, and they filled it with baby oil. This man was obsessed. His biggest obsession is baby oil. He liked baby oil more than he liked money, it seems like. And so he would fill it up. They filled it up in a hotel room with baby oil. He just liked their bodies to always stay wet and glistening. It was a turn on for Diddy. It's just something that he liked. We haven't not gotten an explanation so far as to why. Let me see if they're back. We're still waiting for the courtroom. Maybe they are talking to the judge. Let's see. It is a slow process. Okay, so they're back. Let me share. It says, so the last one, what I think I should do is kind of go back and read the last statement and then go to the next one. So you guys, because it's just too big of a gap. The government calls LA arson investigator Lance Jimenez. I'll place a binder in front. Witness takes the stand. Government, how many fires have you investigated? Jimenez, 100 a year. Everything between mansions to dumpster fires. LA is pretty crazy. Government, did you respond as an expert to an auto fire at 8925 Hollywood Hills? You guys, so we're getting to the Kid Cudi incident. Jimenez, yes, there was a cut in the roof of a Porsche. Government, what about the inside of the Porsche? Jimenez, burn patterns inside. Government, any items? Jimenez, a bottle on the front seat. Okay, so there we go. They're talking about that Kid Cudi incident. So let me stay focused here, see if the updates are coming pretty faster. Okay, we're waiting. So I'll go back to the this is key testimony. So I want us to make sure we stay on top of it, because remember, this is the predicate act that they're trying to lay out, that there was the arson. This is one of the elements that they're saying happened, and this would fall under one of the elements, one of the predicate acts to make this a RICO. So I don't want to stray too far. Let's see. I'm going to do another update, and then if not, then I'll go back to the Punisher guy. Let's see. Okay. Generally, like I said before, when we get these laps in testimony or comments and stuff, is generally because they have approached the bench or something, or they are conferring with each other. So I'll go back. Let's see, go back to this guy.
With, multiple people that you were doing this with.
Like I said, if the question wasn't posed to me about substances in the baby oil and stuff like that, it's something that wouldn't come to mind. I'm just trying to be as thorough as possible and say, hey, right, did I experience anything? And I know in the moment I didn't. But like I said, I don't have like clear recollection of a lot of detail. But again, we're talking 12 years ago, right? So could be partly both. So I don't want to start any conspiracy theories that I was part of.
I don't see it as a conspiracy theory. I just feel like maybe, people be taking stuff. It's also a long time ago. It could be some trauma-related stuff from your own personal life that just mixes up, that causes memory loss. Sometimes it's not even that serious as to why you have memory loss. It could be just multiple stuff. I'm sure you're following the trial, but where do you think that this will go with Diddy? Because Capricorn Clark today has come and has testified and has made some shocking allegations in regards to kidnapping, and Diddy obviously had guns on him and so much of Cassie being beaten. Where do you think that this will go? Do you have any idea yourself?
Okay. A repeat. Government, did you respond as an expert to an auto fire at 8925 Hollywood Hills Road? Jimenez, yes, there was a cut in the roof of the Porsche. Government, what about the inside of the Porsche? Jimenez, burn patterns inside. Government, any items? Jimenez, a bottle on the front seat. Jimenez, a handkerchief burned, a lighter on the ground. Government, what hypotheses did you draw? Jimenez, a cocktail. And we got to be careful with YouTube. So a fire cocktail. Government, how did you think it got in? Jimenez, someone lit it, cut the roof, and dropped it in. I know he probably wants to say, how the hell you think it got in? Are you crazy? It jumped up there and got in the car itself. Come on, what you think? But yeah, it's they have to they have to answer these questions that I think a lot of us sometimes feel are silly. Okay, so we're waiting for the next comment.
You know, man, look, honestly, personally, after being a part of this
Right.
in such a serious way, I actually avoid the details, man. I'm just happy that it's over with. In terms of really like an opinion of where it's gonna go or not go, I'm actually lost. You know, I never thought my testimony was significant and somehow.
So Lulu says, why didn't they charge him individually? He done so many other different alleged crimes, because they're saying that basically he had a pattern of coercion and intimidation and threatening people. So, and even in the situation, Capricorn Clark is testified that after this situation happened, that they actually Capricorn and Cassie was begging Kid Cudi not to say anything, because if he did say that Diddy did it or reported it as Diddy committing the crime, that he was going to hurt Capricorn and Cassie. So see, Diddy, this is what they're alleging. So Diddy used a lot of different tactics and methods to keep people quiet. That's what they're saying, right? And I mean, over the years, he was able to pay people off. People were scared and intimidated. I mean, you know, nobody's talking about it. I mean, Suge Knight is behind bars, but Suge had the same kind of reputation at Death Row Records as well. So, I mean, that's kind of how they were back then. So go back to this guy.
Them bringing me in for what I had to say was value to the prosecution. So I'm really lost on the direction.
That's what I want to
I'm just happy that it's over with. In terms of really like an opinion of where it's gonna go or not go, I'm actually lost. You know, I never thought my testimony was significant, and somehow them bringing me in for what I had to say was value to the prosecution. So I'm really lost on the direction and what the interpretation of the law is to even say what makes him guilty or not. I'm just not clear. You know, I always thought my testimony was, if anything, might have helped the defense more than the prosecution, but somehow there was value in it. So I'm lost, man. I'm completely lost.
When you were doing this with Diddy and Cassie, last question on this, was it just you hired, or was it you hired with multiple other people? Does that make sense?
Actually, it was just me. And, you know, for the duration of time I was involved, I really was naive enough to believe that I was the only person they were doing this with.
Right.
You know, when I was first hired, all my interactions was with Miss Ventura, and she was clear, this is my birthday, this is something special. My husband's letting me have a dancer, and I believe that story. So when it became like a repetitive, consistent thing, I was actually kind of like flattered, like, wow, of all the people she could choose, they're choosing me. And and you know, so to find out after the fact that this was a normal thing, I felt kind of like definitely naive and gullible that I had that misinterpretation.
I mean, definitely.
You guys, please hit that like button. Let's get the likes up, please. Yeah, so he thought that his testimony was on the side of the defense. So to me, that just him saying that, to me, I feel like that means that he wasn't against Diddy. And, you know, again, the way I interpret him is like he didn't see, or he's not like saying that Diddy was so horrible or anything like that. Yeah, that's how I kind of see his testimony, or the way he's talking about it after the fact. So a lot of people were saying that he spoke out, and I haven't seen every place that he spoke out, but he did not like the way he was portrayed, because he did not necessarily feel their interactions were negative, right? So, and I think that one of the ways that the government got him to testify, you know, is because he could have probably been brought up on prostitution charges. You know, they could have said you were complicit, you were a co-conspirator, you participated in these acts. That's how they're getting a lot of people to give their testimony.
From my perspective, I would say you come across very sincere. even from your testimony to even, you know, other interviews you've done, you're just speaking your truth, your experiences, and that's all that you can do. So again, I definitely commend you. I also appreciate you coming on here live very spontaneously, having a very quick conversation about it. I really do appreciate it. And I think your book is very interesting. And I'm glad that you're speaking on niche conversations that nobody's speaking about. I think that you can raise awareness for a lot of men who are going through issues.
Yeah, that's the goal, man. You know, it's a lane that nobody's in. Sometimes that's the best lane to get into.
Right.
And it's a real thing, man. You know, guys, we can't talk about those issues. It's a lot of shame. It's a lot of embarrassment. So, you know, hopefully a guy can grab this book. It's really written like a conversation. It's a bunch of hilarious stories about my life that are tied into it. So it's not like a medical type of vibe.
Right.
It's just two dudes talking, but it should resonate with any guys struggling and give you some insight to fix your issue or to prevent it if it's something that's just starting to happen. So good stuff. In Search of Freezer Meat. It's on Amazon, all that good stuff. And appreciate you allowing me to talk about it too, man.
Of course, no worries. I wish you a great day, great week. And hopefully, you know, as time goes on and when this...
Okay, let's go back over here and see what's going on. Let's see. Yeah, we're still waiting. Must be a little break. I see infamous Sylvia is outside the court, so it must be kind of getting boring. It must be getting boring inside the courtroom. Let's see here. While we're waiting, let me go back over here. So let me share this tab. So this is from the Post. In a brief cross-examination, LAPD officer Christopher Ignacio confirmed that he didn't see any property disturbed when he arrived at Kid Cudi's house. So that's exactly what the defense team wants them to know. In the words of defense attorney Brian Steele, there was no furniture upended, no bullet holes in the wall, or no notes of threats. So, see, we're getting more detail. That's why it's kind of good to kind of look at different platforms, different publications. Ignacio said Cudi, whose legal name is Scott Muscudi, was cooperative but flustered after the alleged break-in, which police investigated as a trespassing. So that's probably even a lesser penalty. There's no burglary, there's no robbery, just trespassing. The government has now called Lance Jimenez, an arson investigator and firefighter, to the stand. And Brannigan says defense attorney Brian Steele is now picking apart details from LAPD officer Christopher Ignacio's testimony about the break-in in Kid Cudi's house. Steele asked the officer if he noticed Cudi's black Porsche or saw a car chase when he arrived at the home. Ignacio said he saw a black Cadillac Escalade, which was registered to Sean Combs' company, but did not see a Porsche. Now on the stand is Christopher Ignacio, a Los Angeles police officer. Okay, yeah, so she's saying his testimony might corroborate former Combs assistant Capricorn Clark, who testified Tuesday that she was in the vehicle with Combs outside Cudi's house, and Combs chased Cudi's car shortly before police arrived. Yeah, so his testimony is definitely in support of Capricorn Clark from yesterday. Looks like they're taking a break, you guys. I don't know how long they're going to be on the break. Let's see. Usually it will be said, the judge will say we'll take a short break, but I'm not seeing it because this is kind of 11 minutes ago. Let's see. They must be on a break or something because I'm not seeing anything. Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, maybe they're on a break or something, but let's go back over here. So here's you guys, it's saying that can you guys hear me? Lulu, can you hear me? It's saying I lost my screen sharing. Let me share this. Okay, so you can hear me. It said I lost connection. Thank you. Thanks for that. Okay, thank you. So we are looking at just some recaps and stuff until it looks like they may have taken a quick break. Let's see, it's 7:30. They may have taken a break after a couple of witnesses and stuff. Generally, the judge does allow people to kind of go. And he'll say, let's take a 10-minute break. And you guys know nobody come back for like 30 minutes or so. So anytime that they would let us take a break or something, it always extended beyond the time that the judge had allotted, which was funny to me. Nobody has nobody pays attention to the time. It's crazy. Okay. So we are back. That was a long little break. So, like I did before, I'll read the prior. Jimenez, a handkerchief burned, a lighter on the ground. Government, what hypotheses did you draw? Jimenez, a cocktail, Government, how did you think it got in there? Jimenez, someone lit it, cut the roof, and dropped it in. Government, let me show you some photos. This is the black Porsche was burned. This is the black Porsche was burned. Jimenez, yes. Government, what kind of bottle was used? Jimenez, Old English 800. What? Old English 800 malt liquor. Oh my God, that's crazy. Y'all know the Old English malt liquor. That is the cheapest low grade liquor you can get. Government, and the wick. Jimenez, a designer type scarf. Ooh, designer type scarf. Silky. In my opinion, this was targeted. Okay, so now this is interesting because I want to see if the defense objects to this, because now you're getting into you're not being fact-based. It's in your opinion. And they didn't ask for your opinion. They asked what it was. So generally what I'm learning is that when they make statements like this, the other side, either side will object, and then the judge will make a determination. Because when he's saying stuff like a designer scarf, those are prejudicial because Diddy has money. So you're kind of like making them think, oh, well, yeah, if it was a designer scarf, then it had to be Diddy, because Diddy has designer items. And then you say, in your opinion, it was targeted. Well, I mean, of course, we know that if somebody threw a Molotov in the car, that's targeted. It's plain, it's premeditated. But should you be saying this? I don't know. So interesting. I want to know if the judge is going to step in and say, overruled. No, sustained. What is the judge's take on that? Lulu says, is Cassie's husband going to testify? Well, it was possible because at some point when Cassie was on her testimony, there were points at which they did not want him in the courtroom because he was there as a witness support, because of the kind of testimony that she had. So they did allow him to be in the courtroom. However, there was a back and forth with both sides as to whether he could remain in the courtroom for all of her testimony, just in case there were portions of it that he would have to testify to. I guess they didn't want him to be influenced by her testimony. You guys, please, let's get the likes up, y'all. Please hit that like button. I really appreciate it. Please. Smaller channels, we need the support, you guys. We really do. because y'all know the big folks, and they earned it, you know, but still, y'all can show us a little love. Lulu says, don't drink. Excuse me, you guys. Don't drink, but that sounds like some hot stuff. What, Lulu? What sounds like some hot stuff? Okay, let's go back and see what they're saying in their city press. We're scrolling down, you guys. We're scrolling down. Hopefully they got some updates. Oh, okay, you guys. This is what we've been waiting for. Y'all, this is one of the things we've been waiting for. This is one of the things we've been waiting for. Let me go back up. So he says, a handkerchief burned, a lighter on the ground. Government, what hypotheses did you draw? Jimenez, a cocktail. Government, how did you think it got in there? Jimenez, someone lit it, cut the roof, and dropped it in. Government, let me show you some photos. This is the black Porsche. This is the black Porsche was what was burned. Jimenez, yes. Government, what kind of bottle was used? Jimenez, Old English 800 malt liquor. Government, and the wick? Jimenez, a designer type scarf, silky. In my opinion, this was targeted. Government, the partial DNA, y'all remember? Steele had brought up the partial DNA about a week ago. Government, the partial DNA profile, was it consistent with the female contributor? Jimenez, I was told that. Government, do you know what it means? Jimenez, no. Government, do you know if it's possible to touch an item without leaving DNA? Defense says objection. Judge says sustained. So this was interesting because the government did not want them to be able to mention the female DNA. They didn't want this testimony they didn't want this testimony at all, right? So it looks like the judge's ruling was that they could go ahead and go down that line of questioning because they said that it was inconsistent, so they didn't want to confuse the jurors. But here we have it. They heard it. So this right here kind of helps the defense a little bit because they're saying it was a female contributor. However, we still know that even though it was a female, it could have been one of the females associated with Diddy. He had enough power and means and everything to make somebody do it on his behalf, but it raises reasonable doubt. Could it have been one of Kid Cudi's girlfriends or somebody he was messing with? It could have been. I mean, you know, so they're just trying to raise reasonable doubt here, which a little bit I feel that they have. I mean, I think that they have. Keith. Oh, talking about the liquor you were talking about. Okay. Keith Otten. Hey, Keith, welcome to the chat. Please hit the like button if you're just joining. Difficult decision based on what was presented. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just so much. Remember in the beginning, the judge did have a conversation and told the jury that, you know, you guys are going to hear some circumstantial evidence and you will have to make decisions based on that too. Circumstantial evidence is permissible. So he talked about that. So, I mean, it's just a lot. We probably, you know, you won't know until you get to the end and the judge gives the jury instructions. But I'm going to say, based on what I'm seeing, that Diddy, man, y'all, he seems cooked. He just does. And again, it's still so early, you know. I mean, the defense hasn't presented their side yet. But just statistically speaking, with the feds, their rates, the fact that Comey, her record, I don't know. It looks like he posted a side. Okay, let's see. So basically now they're saying, let let me go back. The partial DNA profile, was it consistent with a female? Jimenez, I was told that. Government, do you know what it means? Jimenez, no. Government, do you know if it's possible to touch an item without leaving DNA? Defense, objection. Judge, sustained. Government, what happened to the print cards? Jimenez, they were destroyed in 2012. What print cards? I don't know what he's talking about. On whose orders? Jimenez, someone in LAPD. Oh, so I guess they were saying that there were some cards, or maybe there was some fingerprinting cards, but it looks like they were destroyed. Government, not you or anyone on your team. Agnifilio says, I'm going to object to all of this. Can we have a sidebar? Judge says, okay. So they have a sidebar. So the sidebars can usually take a couple minutes, you guys. Okay, so that's why the female DNA is inconclusive at this point. What we know is that on hearsay, they said it was a female's DNA. However, there's no record to establish whose DNA it was, because the print cards they're referring to, I'm assuming, have been destroyed. So that's why at this point we won't know whose fingerprints or who did it. And so it's kind of hard to say for sure that Diddy did it. Yeah, Lulu, exactly. I mean, we shall see. So what do you think? Are you leaning towards Diddy, that he may get off? You think he's going to be guilty? What are your thoughts? And I mean, there's still more evidence that we need to see. You know, this, like I said, it's still early on. But it's interesting, you guys, that unfortunately with that DNA being destroyed, I mean, with the cards being destroyed and it being a female, we can make an assumption and we can use circumstantial evidence that it probably was Diddy, but that still raises some, that's a reasonable doubt, right? Okay, so they're in a sidebar. So what else is going on? Let's see. Okay. You guys, there has been drama at the court. So while we're waiting for this, let's look at some of the drama that's been going on. Let me go back here. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I think their sidebars are usually like about 5 to 10 minutes. So let's see. Let's see. Okay. I guess they're still on break. Let's go back and see some of it's been a lot of stuff going on. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, so there's one, let me see. Okay, you guys, so there has been so if y'all been in the court, you guys, in the court, it's going down in the courtroom, but it's also going down on the outside. It's a lot of drama. The YouTubers are getting into it. The major media, they're talking about the YouTubers. So as you can see, Donat, he's a YouTuber. He had been calling out Gene Deal because he recently did a video, and there's a new lawsuit that was filed maybe a couple of days ago. I may have filed it a couple of times, I don't know, but he filed a lawsuit, and this guy is alleging that he was essayed with some younger girls and everything. And there's a picture with a guy that looks like Gene Deal, and so the guy who interviewed with him is saying that it was Gene Deal, and so Gene Deal is saying that it's not. So Donat has been trying to call Gene out, like saying, hey, he, just asking him some questions and everything. However, Gene don't want to answer. So it has been some drama. And then Tisa Tails got thrown in it, you guys. It's not only in the courtroom, it's outside the courtroom too. So that's just a little tea. It's been a little drama. So Gene Deal was talking about Donat. I heard that there was a little bit of a kerfuffle in the courtroom. They did see each other inside the courtroom, but no paws were thrown or anything, just words. So it's crazy, you guys. It is crazy. Let's go back to Inner City Press. It's a lot. It's a lot going on the outside too. It'd be fights and yelling and arguing and everything. You can't do too much in the courtroom because they're not having it. That's federal court. You will be apprehended very, very quickly, right? So it looks like a lot of the YouTubers, some of the people that are generally in the court are actually not in the court today. Let me see. Yeah, so that's been some everything you're watching is false. Okay, thank you. So is there a point to what you're saying? I appreciate that, but if it's false, okay, thank you. Let's see. Yeah, so that's crazy. So this is the whole thing with Gene Deal, Tisa, and let me see if I can go back and find the original source. Let's see. I think Tasha K had it on. Oh, wow. Let's see. Unwind with Tasha K. That was the first place I saw it. Unwind with Tasha K. She was the first one to see him call out Gene Deal. So I'm going to see if I could find it. I think it happened last week. Donat was trying to get an interview with Gene Deal, or he was trying to talk to him, and he feels like Tisha kind of bum rushed or cut him off. So they've been going back and Tisa has not really been saying nothing, but that's kind of what the issue is. Y'all, I'm looking for it. It happened last week, so I'm trying to see if I can find it. Okay, well, here's another look. Well, okay, y'all, it's just so much stuff. It's so much stuff. Diddy allegedly came alive in the courtroom after Cassie was caught in some lies. Okay, inside the Diddy. Kid Cudi. Let me share this tab so you guys can see what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a situation that happened outside the courtroom. I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but I am looking for it. Okay, here is Lauren LaRosa. You guys know I got to meet Lauren LaRosa. She's a sweetheart. She shouted me out. Kid Cudi set to testify. Former assistant. Where is it? You guys, it may be, I don't know. It happened outside the courtroom. Oh, here we go, you guys. I got it. Okay. So this is it. This is how it all started. Okay, but I'm going to stop it and go back to, so basically, if you guys could see, Danat was trying to ask Gene Deal some questions, and then Tisa kind of just rolled up and, started talking to Gene while he was, shouting out his stuff when he was filming and everything. And Gene Deal likes Tisa. Okay, so we are back. Okay. So going back like I have been doing, government, what happened to the print cards, Jimenez? They were destroyed in 2012. Government, on whose orders? Jimenez, someone in LAPD. Government, not you or anyone on your team. Combs, I'm going to object to all of this. Can we have a sidebar, Judge? Okay. So you guys know that we just had a little break. Combs exited too with marshals into the holding cell. So it looks like they had a little break. Usually when they have like a sidebar, if Diddy leaves the courtroom, he gets to go to the bathroom or whatever, he has to be taken with the marshals. He cannot move anywhere without, his movements are restricted. He cannot move anywhere without the marshals, because I did ask. It says Combs exited too with marshals into holding cell. Agnifilo, let me get him. Combs is brought back in. Judge, Miss Slavic, what was the purpose of getting into that? Government, they are questioning the investigation, so we're entitled to ask this. So see, here's the thing. These tweets are great, but we miss there's stuff that, like, there's gaps in our information. When you're in the courtroom, you literally hear everything, unless it's like there's whispering, which generally I haven't seen any whispering. So we're missing stuff, It says, Judge, when I heard the questions, I assumed they were going to be line of cross-examination about the fingerprint cards, like about the DNA. But that does not appear to be the case. So I'm thinking of telling the jurors to disregard. Agnifilo, this is outrageous. So let's go back. The DNA profile, was it consistent with the female? I was told that. Do you know what that means? Jimenez, no. Government, do you know if it's possible to touch an item without leaving DNA? Defense objected. The judge sustained. Government, what happened to the print cards? Jimenez, they were destroyed in 2012. Government, on whose orders? Jimenez, someone in LAPD. Government, not you or anyone on your team. Combs, Agnifilio says, I'm going to object to all of this. Can we have a sidebar? So I guess he doesn't like the fact that they're talking about the cards being destroyed. It's irrelevant, because maybe he's thinking that it'll make, like, they're going to think that Diddy had the cards destroyed, the fingerprint cards. Combs exited too with marshals into a holding cell. Agnifilo, let me get him. So he wants to get Diddy back in there. Combs is brought back in. The judge, Miss Slavic, what was the purpose of getting into that? Miss Slavic is the government side. They are questioning the investigation, so we're entitled to ask. Judge, when I heard the questions, I assumed there was going to be a line of cross-examination about the fingerprint cards, like about the DNA. But that does not appear to be the case. So I'm thinking of telling the jurors to disregard. Yeah, this is I don't know where they're going with this one. I have to see if I can get more information on maybe another. Let's go to the post to see if they clarify a little bit better. Without getting all of the sidebar information and everything, it gets a little bit crazy. Let's see. Okay. I'm trying to see if I can get any anything to clarify what they're trying to say. Okay, no, this is all going back for an hour. We want something more recent. Okay, day 11 of Sean Diddy Combs' trafficking and racketeering conspiracy is expected to bring more witness testimony about the alleged car fire of Kid Cudi's in January 2012, with 2 Los Angeles officials, including an arson investigator, taking the stand. On Tuesday, former Combs employee Capricorn Clark provided emotional testimony. Okay. Clark alleged that Combs arrived at her house brandishing a GUN. Okay, so we know all of this stuff. Wednesday may also bring another alleged victim into the case, Mia, a pseudonym for a former employee allegedly abused by Combs. Yeah, we're waiting for that one. That's the one that we want to hear about. Okay, well, we're still waiting. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so they came back, and after a long sidebar, jurors, we are trying to sync up. Why don't we take a break? So the jurors exit. Agnifilo, we are considering what remedies to ask for. Let me speak with my colleague. They implied that someone in this courtroom was responsible for the destruction of the fingerprint cards. Government, they intended to attack the investigation. Ooh, it's getting messy, y'all. It's a fight in the courtroom. So they don't like the way this is going, and they're hearing that someone in the courtroom may have destroyed evidence. And so I guess they're going to get to the bottom of it. And so the government is a little bit annoyed, saying that they're trying to attack the investigation. Hey, D-Dot, welcome to the chat. Hey, Pam, welcome, you guys. When you guys come in, please hit that like button. D-Dot says he remembers reading this. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot, you guys. Hey, Pam, welcome to the chat. D-Dot says, Kid Cudi's case is not looking good. No evidence of, I know. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Wait, you guys, I got to cough real quick. Hold on. So, yeah, I've been saying overall, I feel like some days, like Capricorn Clark's testimony destroyed Diddy, right? But like today with the arson, because they have to make sure they're trying to outline all of these predicate acts. And so the arson, the thing about it is there reasonable doubt? And so I mean, we know that there was an arson, right? But was it Diddy? Like, that's the thing. Because it could be anybody. It could have been one of Kid Cudi's ex-girlfriends. And so then it becomes circumstantial. And then when it's the circumstantial, it depends on what does the jury instructions say. When the judge gives the jury the instructions on how they have to interpret all this data, this information, that's what's going to determine, you know, how they make a decision. So it's crazy, right? But so when they said it was female DNA, to me that was enough for reasonable doubt. Although we know Diddy could have had a female do it, but that's just not enough. That's just not enough. I found a legal analyst. Dang, I gotta, I'll try to play some of the things when we have these breaks. I saw a legal analyst really talking about the whole thing about, if it's circumstantial, or even if we know it to be, even if we assume that that's what occurred, that's still not enough. You need facts. You really need the facts to support that the person did it, or you kind of got to let it fly. Let's see if they're back. Let's see. We're going down. You guys are not, I really hate the way we have to do this. I apologize, but that's the way it is. Let's see. There are 2 new updates. Okay. Let me share this, you guys. Okay, so the post. Okay, so for the post, it says fire investigator Lance Jimenez said fingerprint cards in the Kid Cudi bombing investigation were destroyed without his knowledge in 2012 on orders from a Los Angeles police officer who was not part of his team. Jimenez was starting to testify that it was unusual for evidence in one of his investigations to be destroyed without his knowledge when the defense raised objections to this line of questioning. See, that's what I'm telling you. So here's the thing. So we're watching Inner City Press tweet out, but we didn't get all of that little bit, that it was unusual for the evidence to be destroyed. Like, we need all of this. And if you're not in the courtroom, we don't get all of this. Give it to us, y'all. Give it to us. So it says the court is now taking a break. How long is the break, y'all? Sean Combs' lawyers plan to cross-examine Los Angeles firefighter Lance Jimenez about the DNA and fingerprints evidence retrieved from the scene of a car at Kid Cudi's Hollywood home in January 2012. The judge has overruled the government's objections to this line of questioning, so prosecutors are prompting Jimenez to talk about his lack of expertise. Ooh, see, y'all, this is the thing. That's why we got to go back and forth. That's why we got to look at more than one source. Because now I didn't know they started to poke holes in his expertise as a witness. It's like, what are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. Jimenez testified that although he requested that the various items be tested, including the Molotov, it remains cocktail remains and a recovered lighter. He was not sufficient. He was not sufficiently trained. So see, that's the thing. That's where the defense starts poking holes in your testimony. Oh, were you trained to do that? Well, why are you talking about something that you're not an expert in, right? So it says he was not sufficiently trained in DNA or fingerprint collections and wasn't involved in that part of the investigation. So what are we talking about? Because you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm just saying this is how the defense is going to try to make him look. He added that over the course of his 20-year career investigating fires, that he has had very few hits with DNA. Well, the DNA being a female is enough to kind of derail some of this, though, because it just gives reasonable doubt that it wasn't Diddy. I'm just saying, is the female, because you can go down the road that it was a disgruntled lover or something like that. So yeah, that's good testimony. That's good. They're poking holes. They're poking holes. D-Dot says it could look like Diddy can get out because there's nothing to nail him in the coffin, but we know he did. D-Dot says, I did a video. I did one of my thumbnails. I said the nail, the coffin has been nailed or something like that. You said it looks like he could get out. D-Dot, it's so much that it could be a hung jury because all he needs is one person to not, and they're saying Tisa did mention that because Tisa goes into the main courtroom. I haven't had the opportunity to go into the main courtroom yet. So I've only been seeing I've only been seeing like the person, the witness, and then we get to see the gallery, well, pretty much like Diddy and the legal team and stuff. But Tisa was saying there's a juror who was not happy when Don was testifying. So there have been other people who have been in the courtroom who are reporting some of the jurors' reactions. And so I think there's at least 2 that I've heard of that may be leaning towards Diddy, or when they hear something that is favorable for Diddy, they light up, and if it's not, they get mad or something, or that they're reactionary. So D-Dot, I think you might be right. He only needs like one person or for a hung jury, right? D-Dot says you talking about Tisa Fails. She got caught in her lies, even Foxy Brown. Yeah. Oh, well, D-Dot, Tisa out there grinding though. Like she's kind of like leading, she grinding out there. I did get to talk to her too. If Diddy gets out, Fab going back to Red Blue says listen, you guys, if Diddy gets out, and D-Dot, and by the way, her and Donat is on her head about this whole Gene Deal thing. So I don't know if you've seen the videos about that, but you can go check it out because I think he's talking about it. But yeah, he's on her head about Gene Deal. He does not like Gene Deal, and he is tossing her out. D-Dot says Tisa is grinding, though. I agree. Yeah, she is. Like her or hate her, she's a personality. She is. But you guys, another thing, yes, people have been saying that yes, if Diddy gets off of this, they said Cassie's got to be careful. But here's the thing, you guys, I feel like even if he don't get off, they got to be careful. He still got money. He still has power and influence. Period. He still got connections. Listen, y'all, it's people who be outside that court. Okay, let me tell you guys something else. They have been threatening people. I'm just too small. Thank you, Lord. I'm under the radar, but people have been getting threatened. Tisa Tales has 2 bodyguards now, you guys, because so I know she is a bodyguard. Now, somebody said it was 2, so I don't know if it's 1 or 2, but I heard it was 2, and I've seen her with 2 white guys standing by. I think in some of my videos, I may even have accidentally caught her with these 2 white guys, but allegedly one day, and there's a video about it, the guy they call the fake AK academics. Now this is what was told to me. So if it's a lie, I'm repeating somebody else's lie. Okay. They said that, oh, really? Wow. Hey, Hector, welcome to the chat. People are saying that Cassie and Diddy work together. Ooh, I think Cassie still loves him. Let me tell y'all about Tisa before I forget my thought. So Tisa was leaving one day after court. I think that was the week 1. And like, y'all, it's the Cassie characters. With the week that Cassie and her mom testified, like, it was way more people like that because she was the star witness, so everybody wanted to be there. That was the big one, like her, Capricorn Clark, and Kid Cudi. Those are the big ones, and Mia might be too. So anyway, she was out after she does her thing outside the courtroom and stuff, right? So she was doing her live, and somebody started yelling at her, or she was interviewing with this guy, and this man started calling her a liar and stuff. And he was just like yelling at her. So they said she looked visibly scared. So she started walking off. I didn't see it. I probably had left for the day. And they said she had started walking off, and the man was following her like back to her hotel. I don't know how close she is to the court. I don't know. So that's, and then I think it was that Thursday or Friday that I saw her with the white guys. And they just kind of stand around while she's doing her lives on the outside. So that's what I'm hearing, that she had to get bodyguards. And she's so big now that, you know, people recognize her. And I also heard that in the courtroom after Cassie's mom testified, that she kind of gave Tisa a nod and pointed to her like, yeah, you know, you're on point. So she's got a lot of visibility in this case. Hector says Lulu's divine. Hector saying hello back. Okay. Yeah, you guys, so it's been going down inside and outside of the court. Y'all, let me get back here to see if Inner City Press is saying anything. Let's see. We don't want to miss no testimony. Let's see. I'm going to see if there's anything updated, you guys. Let's see. Nope. I guess he's still, Agnifilo says he was going to go talk to his colleagues. So I guess we're still waiting for them to come back. Let's see what else. Okay, well let's go back to this. We can go back. Okay, so it says, let me just read it for you guys too. It says, Unwind with Tasha K. Red Wine News. Things are heating up at the Diddy trafficking case. On day 6, his former security guard, Gene Deal, showed up to testify, and word is it got real in that courtroom. While details of his testimony are still emerging, sources claim Gene came with receipts and didn't hold back. Allegedly, he knows where a lot of the bodies are buried, figuratively speaking, and his words may shake the table for real. We'll keep an eye on this one. Okay, so just so everybody knows, Gene Deal did not testify. So I mean, I don't know if this post is alleged or is insinuating he testified, because he did not. He was in the courtroom on the first day he got there. Of course, I slid next to Gene. He was sitting in the front. He was in the overflow courtroom with us. And I said, hey, Mr. Deal. I said, I have been in the chat with you on some of the paperwork parties on some of his lives. And I was reminding him that one day they were cooking and I was cooking. I was like, I was in California. Y'all was cooking. I was cooking. And I was saying, at the Gene Deal show, at the Gene Deal show, at the Gene Deal show. And I was laughing with him. He was really nice. I said, I know this is a really serious time for you, but I just had to come over and say hi. So he was really cool. So yeah, Gene has not testified though. Y'all, Puffy been and D-Dot, I see you talking about them Gene Deal kneecaps. I ain't saying ish about them kneecaps no more, because I have seen Gene and I ain't gonna get cussed out by Gene, okay? Yeah, I used to be laughing with the lounge and Jamil about Gene Deal's kneecaps, but y'all, listen, I'm closing my mouth about them about them kneecaps, because I see him, he be in court, so I'm scared now, y'all. I ain't playing no more. And another thing, Diddy has been coming to court with the Bible, you guys. I think it was Hector who said something about the Bible. Diddy been bringing the Bible, y'all. But here's my thing, Diddy, you should have been reading the Bible instead of doing them freak offs, my brother. Now, y'all know he said you the same size as Uncle Phil. Y'all know Uncle Phil was the guy from the Will Smith, Uncle Phil, right? Okay, you guys, they're back. Okay. Okay, so the last statement was Agnifilo. We are considering what remedies to ask for. Let me speak with my colleague. They implied that someone in this courtroom was responsible for the destruction of the fingerprint cards. Government, they intended to attack the investigation. They're back. Judge, my intent is to strike from the record any testimony about the fingerprint cards and the destruction of them. I will note that the only answers were what the witness knew about the destruction. I sustained the objection to it if it was abnormal. Here's the problem. When jurors hear something and you say strike or whatever, they still they've heard it already. You really can't strike information and details that have traversed your brain, right? So, Inner City Press, Combs, Shapiro now. Alexandra Shapiro is commenting. We're going to move for a, y'all, oh my God. It says we are going to move for a mistrial at this time based on the prosecutorial misconduct that has occurred. Some prospective jurors said Mr. Combs could buy his way out. This type of conspiracy is out there, and this brought into it. Oh my, y'all, I'm hyperventilating. I never seen this before. I've never seen this before in real time. Oh my God. Y'all know I used to be a legal secretary, litigation. What? Oh my, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me calm down. I'm sorry. Y'all. Help me. Somebody, please give me some, what's the things people take when they have asthma? I need an inhaler, y'all. I need some epinephrine or some Benadryl. I don't know. What in the, y'all. Okay, y'all. Let me gather myself. Y'all, thank God I took my shower before I started this, because Lord, I be sweating and musty. I cannot believe this. Are y'all hearing this? Alexander Shapiro says, we're going to move for a mistrial at this time based on the prosecutorial misconduct that has occurred. Some prospective jurors said Mr. Combs could buy his way out. This type of conspiracy is out there, and this brought into it. Y'all, we are missing some background information. This is the problem. Dang, I'm not in there, because you get to hear, we would get to hear some of the sidebar commentary. We are effing missing it. Oh my God. We gotta get somebody. Sylvia's outside. Okay, you guys, okay. Gotta update. Shapiro says they should have ended with when the fingerprint cards were destroyed, but they asked, did he authorize it? There's no way to unring this bell. That's what I'm telling you guys. Once it's said, once it is put out there in the sphere for the juries to hear, They can't unhear this stuff. The only proper remedy here is mistrial. Government, that's absolutely unwarranted. Oh my God, y'all. I don't think it's going to be a mistrial. Listen, I don't think so. But just the fact that they're even saying it, I think they've I think they've called for mistrial previously, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, the government, it was Mr. Agnifilo who wanted to inquire into the DNA, into the investigation. Your Honor can just say that the jurors should not draw any inference from the destruction of the fingerprint cards. Judge, application for a mistrial. Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh, my God. I'm fanning myself. The judge says application for a mistrial is denied. Fix your wigs and carry on. Oh, Lord. Okay, y'all. Okay. So we're back to regular programming. The judge has denied the application. So no, you're not going to get that. However, trust me, if he gets convicted, this will be brought back this situation will be brought up during the appeal. Oh my God, y'all. I have to calm down. I'm winded. Oh my God. D-Dot says denied. Yes, this is getting crazy, y'all. This is crazy. Listen, y'all, please hit that like button. Y'all, I'm about to have a little, no, I ain't going to put that out there. I'm about to have something. But when I tell you, I couldn't, like, what? Wait, wait a minute. Oh, wait. That's D-Dot says, my dad used to watch Red Fox. Somebody call Elizabeth. It's the big one. It's the big one. Oh, you guys, thank God. I have I have a new little studio since my daughter moved to Jersey, y'all. So I got her bedroom is my new YouTube studio, y'all. Even though I miss her like crazy. Okay, I can't sing. But they say Cassie couldn't sing either, okay? So, hey, don't hate the player, hate the game. But but y'all, listen. Now that I'm in my YouTube studio, I can act a fool, okay? But you guys, that I damn near lost my breath. I can't breathe. Lord, they wanted a mistrial. Oh, Lord. But the judge said denied. Oh, my God. This has been some drama today. I know the people in the courtroom, y'all, the people in the courtroom, I know they were gasping and going crazy. I know it. I so wish I was in there. Lord. Okay, you guys, I done fixed my wig. I done got a wig shift. We're back. So the judge says, I sustained the objections when raised. The jurors have already been told that questions are not evidence. Shapiro, Your Honor, should tell the juror that the questions were improper. Government, they weren't improper. You should say disregard both. Yes, so they didn't like the line of questioning. And my whole thing, though, is when you tell them to disregard and all of that stuff, it still is, they've heard it. They're not going to disregard it because now it's like downloaded already into their memory, right? And the fact that you want them to disregard it is probably even another note and a reason why they are going to pay attention. So some of the procedural things that they do in court to me are a little antiquated and need to be changed, you know? Yeah. Some dumb beat says Free Luigi. Red Blue says Bad Boys International, also known as Take That. Y'all, this has been crazy. I know people are just like clamoring, like, what the hell? A mistrial, you know? That's crazy, you guys. I'm fine. I'm slowly calming down, okay? I'm slowly calming down, but that was a highlight. I want to hear what people inside the court were saying, are gonna say what the mood was when that happened. Because I know that had to be crazy. D-Dot is laughing. Yes, y'all, show some love. Okay, let's see. What is Inner City saying? You guys, I could barely breathe for a second. It's only 8:21 in the. You guys, it's still so early here. Sheesh. I've not even had my coffee. I should have went and got my coffee when they took a break. Let me see. Wait, what time is it there now? So 8:30, 9 to 10. Okay, so they're gonna be taking. They're about to take a lunch in a minute. Let me see. Okay. Okay, so it says the government said, okay, so as you guys know, I am repeating the prior, then catching up. Judge, I sustained the objections when raised. The jurors have already been told that questions are not evidence. I think they should know that, Your Honor. Shapiro, Your Honor should tell the jurors that the questions were improper. The government, they weren't improper. You should say disregard both. Shapiro says, will the court tell the jurors that the answers are not to be considered? The judge, I'll tell them that the questions and answers on the fingerprints are irrelevant to this case and not to be considered. Shapiro, thank you, Your Honor. All rise. Okay, so the jurors did not hear that exchange. They were sequestered away. Usually they are taken out, but so now they're bringing them back in, and they're going to continue and proceed with testimony. D-Dot says, scandalous, you got your asthma pump. D-Dot, I need it, okay? I don't have an asthma pump. My daughter had one, but listen, I'm going to have to go through her old bags and find it because I am getting worked up in here. Y'all, I could feel the pressure around my head. That got me so excited. It was like an adrenaline rush. I'm like, oh my God, this is nuts. This is nuts. When is the last time you guys have heard a live, we moved for a mistrial during an actual trial, only in the movies. Like, y'all, we are in a Lifetime movie. This has been a movie. I'm telling you, it has been a movie. Okay, so the jurors are being brought back. So now everybody's going to be proper and on their best behavior in front of the jurors. Okay. Let's see. Scrolling down. And that's crazy when the jurors come, all rise. So when we were, excuse me, guys, when we were in the overflow court, like we didn't have to rise when the jurors would come, only the people in the main courtroom. So every time the judge would say, all rise, I would damn near stand up because I'm Catholic. And so, in Catholic church, it was, you stand, kneel, you stand, you sit, you kneel, stand, sit, kneel. So it's just been in my head like so much when he would say rise, like I would almost automatically pop up and I'd have to keep reminding myself, oh, okay, you're not in the main courtroom. So one night I literally had a dream. I was sleeping, y'all. I was sleeping and I was dreaming, all rise. And I was like, I knew I was asleep, I think. And it was like, do I need to rise out of my bed? Well, I was crazy because he was saying it so much. It was so crazy. And it was just something that I kept thinking about, like, oh, do I have to stand or sit? Y'all, I apologize. I'm nuts, you guys. D-Dot says you better go steal it from her then. D-Dot, okay, y'all, I don't do marijuana or anything like that. But y'all, this case gonna make me need to take a puff or something. Y'all, this is crazy. This is crazy. I am literally losing it over here. I'm gonna lose my voice too, D-Dot. Y'all, I'm gonna lose my voice. Y'all gonna make me act a fool up in here. This is too much. Y'all. Okay, so let me see. Let me see, you guys. Clearly, I'm on one this morning, and I haven't even had my coffee. So let's see. Okay. They are still okay. So we got some new tweets. the last little situation is they wanted the judge to tell them that to just disregard all of the prior comments about the DNA the evidence being destroyed. So the jurors enter, the questions and answers on the fingerprints are irrelevant to this case and are not to be considered by you. Please proceed. Government, did you interview the owner of the Porsche? Jimenez, Scott Mescudi. Government, did you reach out to others? Okay, so now we're back on track, and I guess they're trying. What, 8:30? Okay, so they're probably trying to make sure we get to the end of this before the cross. The cross may be after lunch, I'm assuming. Did you interview the owner of the Porsche? So we're waiting. That was nuts, you guys. That's going to be a big headline, watch. They going to take that and run with it. Everybody's going to be like, oh, did you? That's crazy. Thank you guys for being here with me with that one, because that one shook the table. Oh, my God. Okay. I'm trying to refresh you guys to see for the next line of questioning. Oh my goodness. Okay. What are they saying? Jimenez, I reached out to an assistant. Jimenez, her name was Capricorn Agnifilo. I'm going to object. The judge, rephrase. Government, who did you reach out to? Jimenez, Capricorn and Cassie Ventura. Government, did Capricorn respond or assist? Jimenez, nope. Well, he said no. I'm saying nope. Capricorn was like, shoot, after all the stuff Diddy put her through, she ain't responding to nothing. Because remember, Capricorn had begged Cuddy not to tell that it was Diddy because she said he would hurt them. So, Capricorn, no, she's not saying nothing. Because think about it. The way she's saying it is the way Diddy threatened them and everything. Do you think she's going to assist the police with anything? Come on now. Come on, Mr. Officer. Mr. Officer, you know better. She not doing that. Come on now. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, you guys, we got something. We're going to just take a minute and look into. Okay, let me go back here. We're going to go back and see. They saying that, so Star Legacy apparently is saying that, and I remember hearing this, that Young Miami was recruiting girls for Diddy. Do y'all believe that? That's crazy. Yes, you guys, show me some love. Can y'all show me some love? Show me some love. If y'all don't show me some love, I'm going to start singing. I always wanted to be a singer anyway. Show me some love. Show me some love. Show me some love. Oh, y'all, I'm acting a plum fool today. Okay. You would think I had something. I haven't, you guys. I haven't. I've only had some morning oxygen, darlings. Let me see. You guys, it's been so much fun. It was one day when I wanted to run up in the I was trying to run up in the elevator with the Combs family, and Max, the guy, Max B World, the guy who I have been going to court with, he was like, if you don't get over here, and because Christian, he was looking at us. He was mean mugging. He didn't want me to get on the elevator because I had it on my shirt that said scandalous. And he was like, girl, if you get on here. So Max was like, nah, let's fall back. I was like running all over. I didn't care. It was like, that's what we're here for. Okay, so the government is saying, How did you reach out to Cassie? Jimenez says, wasn't able by phone, tried through a family member. Government, did you reach her? Jimenez, never. Of course not. You will never reach her. Government, were charges brought? Jimenez, no, but I never closed the case. It's listed as an act. Oh, woo! That's another little bombshell. It's not. The case was never closed. Is listed as inactive, which means they can reopen it. Okay. Open that case again. Come on, Jimenez. We want to see you open that case. The government says nothing further. So basically, you haven't solved the case. It's inactive. We want you to inactivate it. No, not inactivate it. We want it to be active again. Open that case up on Diddy and see what happened. Open it, Jimenez. Open the case. Shoot. What's going to happen? Okay, you guys. So the government says nothing further. So there's going to be the cross. So let's go check this out real quick, see what they're talking about. Let me put this on. What? Now, to be honest, I heard this before. You know, anybody that was messing with Diddy was going to be recruiting somebody. I did hear this before. So let's listen. Okay, you guys, there's another video. I'll come back to them. There's another video with one of the guys that I met. Let me see. Y'all, Miss Combs got a new wig, you guys. I think I had talked about it on Max's channel. So I actually was next to her. One day we were going through security and I was like right in front of her and they set her down and patted her wig. I don't know if she's been hearing us talk about the wig, but baby, she got a new, that looked like a platinum blonde. I don't know blondes like that because I'm melanated. You know, we don't do blondes too good, but that other wig that she had, that little puff wig, and I'm not talking bad about her because she's a senior and I respect her, but they patted her wig down. But now she done came with a new night. Maybe it's tapered because she don't want them patting her wig down like they did before. Another little bit of tea, you guys, is that when I was coming, you don't hear anything? Can you hear me? I don't. Okay, I'll go back and play the video, but can you hear me? Let me see. I was playing this video showing her going into court, but when I was coming home, I was at United Airlines, and one of the young ladies was telling me, you know, the wheelchair pushers. She was telling me that Diddy's mom had flown in like the week before, and that she had, you know, wheeled her around, and that she flew in by herself, but she has some mobility issues. Again, not my words, the young lady at the United Airlines. And so she said she has some kind of a problem. And I had noted that when I saw her, that she was kind of stumbly with when she walks, and you know, just she looks like she's heavily medicated or something. I don't know, something's going on, but shout out to her. But let's go back and see if Inner City Press, if they have any updates. Let's see, because I think they're going to be breaking for lunch pretty soon. But yeah, that was crazy. I thought she told me that his mother was traveling alone. And based on the way she looks and how frail she is, I don't really think she should be traveling and coming to court and stuff by herself. Now, she's not coming to court alone, but just if she's flying from California by herself, that's a lot. Because hell, it's a lot for me. Well, I have my dog too, so that was a lot, but you know. Okay, so let's go back here. It says, Judge, cross-examination, Agnifilo. There was a DNA hit on the glass bottle for female DNA, correct? Jimenez, yes. Agnifilo, do you remember when the results came back? Jimenez, maybe 6 months. Agnifilo, the test on the bottle, it was important? The answer, yes. So if the test on the bottle was important, why did y'all destroy the evidence? What was see, this is crazy. Whoever did this, whoever was in charge of those DNA tests and results should be in trouble, because no matter how insignificant you think it is at the time that you're doing an investigation or in a case, it matters. It matters. Okay, thank you. Yeah, maybe it was just a video, because I was trying to play. They were showing the Diddy's sons arriving to the court. And you guys, we see them. You see everybody, all of the people who are there to visit them. Because it's like if you stay inside the courthouse, you can only go to certain areas. So you go to the cafeteria, go to the bathroom. You see all of his family and everything. Hi, JM. Welcome to the chat. Please hit the like button when you come in. Lulu says, it's time to engage. Yes, it's time to engage. Smash that like button, y'all. I've been up here making a clown of myself, okay? I feel like I'm coming down with a cold. Let's go down and see what they're saying. Okay. Let's see. Agnifilo. What does it mean? Partial DNA, female. Jimenez, I have no idea. What do you mean you have no idea? This is a problem. If you were there, I'm not saying he's an expert witness. He's just a witness to testify to what he investigated or the results of the investigation. But I feel like you should be prepared for anything and to be able to answer it. Yeah, because what is partial DNA in a female? Jimenez says, I have no idea. I was told if we had a suspect, we could test against it. Agnifilo, any other DNA on the bottle? Government, objection. Judge, rephrase. Agnifilo, DX852, just for the witness. DX852, just for witness. Okay. So this whole fingerprint thing is a big deal. The government is not liking it because it is definitely raising. This is the defense is out for a reasonable doubt here with this arson. So they don't want it. They really just they're gonna object to everything. Agnifilo, that's a glove, right? Jimenez, yes. Did you find another glove? Jimenez, no. Agnifilo, did you test the glove for DNA? Jimenez, no. I understood it belonged to the owner. It was a driving glove. Okay. So yeah, they don't have any fingerprints. They don't have any evidence to directly circumstantial, because Diddy made threats. Diddy was seen leaving his house previously, but we don't know what happened that night. So there's reasonable doubt there. Hope D-Dot, stop, you crazy. D-Dot say he hope it wasn't. Listen, it's LA, it could be. D-Dot, you're on to something. That was OJ's other glove, right? It's in Los Angeles. It's in Los Angeles. We need to do a distance tracking, right? A location determine it, right? To figure out how close it was to OJ's. I believe the Simpson, I forget where they were in LA for the Simpson, but I think it's quite a distance because Nicole was in like a nice little community too. But it could be. I mean, and like we said, the LAPD is nefarious for planting evidence with these gloves and all this stuff. Maybe they took a glove from the OJ case and planted it there. Hell, we don't know. We don't believe LAPD. We know how you guys get down. Right? Okay, so let's go. Let's go down. Let's go. So D-Dot done broke the case. It ain't Diddy's glove, it's OJ's glove. That's a good one. I need to use that on the thumbnail or something. Let's see what they said. Yeah, they still talking about the driving glove. If it don't fit, you must quit. If the glove don't fit, you must quit. That's crazy. And why did people drive? Like, I understand for gripping purposes that the driver, but it's a Porsche, so that would make sense because it's a fast car, maybe like a sports car. Well, it is a sports car, so maybe that's why they have the driving gloves. But I never understood why men had them damn driving gloves. What you need gloves for when you drive? What does that do? What is that for? D-Dot says, take it, take that. Here's another Diddy reference. Okay, take that. Okay, so we're waiting for them to. You guys, here's another thing. If y'all have been paying close attention, my first day seeing Agnifilo, because I've heard he's impeccable, he's a great attorney and stuff. I didn't think that and this is just my little humble, simple, uneducated opinion. I didn't feel like Agnifilo he didn't have the great presence that he was touted to have. Like when I saw him, I think the first day he was talking about, it was after opening arguments and statements rather. And he was introducing, his team and everything. He just seemed he didn't have a presence to me. And he was stammering a little bit. I wasn't captivated by him. The two so far that have been very, stand out who have great presence have been Steele and Westmoreland, Comey, Tenny Garagos, but and the six pack. I mean, I honestly don't remember them, to be honest. I guess I've been more fixated on the defense side. But another thing is that we have gotten to see all of the attorneys coming and going, and they are sharp, baby. They are sharp. When I tell you they come, they tailor-made. I guess it's, when I was a litigation secretary, I worked in San Francisco, and, I didn't have cases like this. I think I maybe only worked on one or two trial cases, and it was like corporate law, and we don't get to go to the court, and our attorneys, they try and they ain't doing all of this. But this, I guess because there's so many eyes on this is like on the world stage, and it's getting media attention and everything. These attorneys got swag, baby, on both sides. Even I'm not gonna lie, even the six pack, they look good. These women are very well put together, and they come in there. And y'all, the women who are reporting on it. Now, y'all, I came from California. We kind of laid back. We be in flip-flops. Like I even wore my flip-flops to court one day, y'all. California lifestyle, okay? With our little ponchos on and very Berkeley. I don't know if y'all been to Berkeley, but you know the vibe. This is the kickback vibe. But these women out there, they have been coming to court looking good. Lauren LaRosa comes to court looking like a model child. Tisa's been looking good. The women, and a lot of the women you see on CNN, I can't remember all of them. I met one lady, Elizabeth. I'm sure you guys see them, the black. I mean, just everybody is there. These women be looking very well put together. The makeup be on point. It looks like a lot of them get their makeup done, like they got hair people, and they come into the courtroom like that because some of them have to run out and they go across the street and they do their live interviews or with their respective stations. But it is a lot, you guys. It's like a cast of characters. Let's see if they are saying anything else. Okay. What's happening? You guys, we want Mia. And you guys, I think I found a Mia, but I don't know if it's the Mia because they said it was a pseudonym. That's not her real name. So don't call me when I'm on live. Stop it, darling. Stop it. Okay. We're over here having fun on the internet. Do not interrupt. Okay. Let's see. Okay. No, wait. I'm trying to see if there's an update. You guys, thank you. I'm having fun with you guys today. I don't like to do lives like that, right? But I'm having a good time. Okay. Agnifilo, your premise was that the Molotov was dropped. Did you think the person who dropped it would have worn a glove? Jimenez, perhaps. Agnifilo, it would have been hot. Jimenez, only the wick. Interesting. Do y'all think you need to wear a glove if you're handling a Molotov? I don't know. Like, I would imagine you just light it real quick and hopefully get it out your hand within seconds. I wouldn't see why you would have to wear a glove, but I don't know. I don't do illegal things, so I have no clue. I don't know. That's a good one. So let's see if Brian still is gonna do his thing and do something where he says, I like when they get him, like when they kind of catch him in lies and they'll be like, did you say this? And they'll be like, I don't remember saying it. It's like, oh, you don't remember saying this? Let me refresh your memory. And then they come back, and then after they kind of bust them, when the person be like, well, and then they'll be like, arrest. It's like, oh my God, it's so funny. Okay, let's go back while we're waiting. Let me see. Let me do a refresh and see if they're saying anything. If not, then we're gonna go back to Diddy's sons coming into the court. Christian looks mean, but they said that's because they're tired of everybody staring at them like they're in a fishbowl, which I understand. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so let's go over here. Let's share this tab. Okay, let me know if you guys could hear. I met this y'all can't hear him? That's weird. Okay, let me see. Okay, tell me if you can hear. Y'all couldn't hear? Oh, wow. Okay. That's weird. Okay, but so then I'll bounce off of that. Like I don't know why y'all couldn't hear that. That's crazy. Okay, so let me go back to see if we have any updates here. Okay, looks like there's something else, something new. Okay. Shapiro says, will the court tell the... Okay, no, hold on. Sorry, you guys. Let me go down. Need to go down a little further. Okay, yeah, nothing new. Let me go over here and see if I can, let's see. Don't know. Okay, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Because Hey, Michael. Can y'all hear me? Okay. I don't know what's going on with the other videos because I thought I was able to play it. Okay, you hear me, but you can't hear. Okay. I got to figure that out. In the meantime, I'm going to see if Inner City Press has any updates. If they don't, then I'm going to go check the New York Post because they be having some pretty good ones too. The thing is, you got to scroll all the way down to try to get the latest tweets. It's crazy. It could be 100 tweets. You just got to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Yeah, they're still stuck on the glove. So let's go to the New York Post. Let's see what they're talking about. So Anne Brannigan, arson investigator Lance Jimenez said the case of the 2012 firebombing of Kid Cudi's car remains open, but attempts to reach out to the people of interest went nowhere. Of course not. I mean, if they associated with bad boys, they wasn't telling nothing. And even I think Kid Cudi didn't even do the reports the way he should have because Capricorn Clark and Cassie convinced him that if he did anything or filed the report and said it was Diddy, that Diddy was going to take it out on them. So it just kind of went flat. Jimenez said Cudi, whose legal name is Scott Miscuddy, gave him several names of people to talk to after the fire. He testified that he reached out to Capricorn Clark, an associate of Sean Combs, about half a dozen times, but she never responded. Jimenez said he also reached out unsuccessfully to Cassie Ventura, including through a family member. In his view, Jimenez said the fire was set deliberately and was targeted. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilo is now cross-examining the firefighter. Okay, what we had talked about earlier, for more context, the debate over the destroyed fingerprint cards raged on a bit longer over how Judge Arun Subramanian will instruct the jury to disregard testimony they heard minutes earlier. Combs' attorney, Alexandra Shapiro, asked the judge to tell jurors that questions the government asked before the break were improper. The government objected to any language that would impugn its prosecutors in front of the jury. I hope I said that word right. Subramanian said he will instruct the jury to disregard the testimony about the destruction of cars because it's irrelevant, but he will not call the questions that elicited the testimony improper. So he's not trying to paint the opposing counsel in a bad light. Oh, this was the crazy one right here, you guys. Judge denies mistrial over testimony about destroyed fingerprint evidence. That was crazy. Sean Combs' defense said it would move for a mistrial based on prosecutorial misconduct, but Judge Arun Subramanian denied their motion. I mean, of course, the judge wants it to continue to go on, right? We're right in the throes of the court. It's like, I mean, in the case, he's like, F that. We gonna continue, y'all. We ain't mistrying nothing. Y'all better wait till we get to the end. The defense took issue with an arson investigator's testimony this morning about the destruction of fingerprint evidence in the case of a firebomb attack on Kid Cudi's Porsche in 2012. Cudi, whose legal name is Scott Muscudi, has previously testified that he believes Combs was involved, and arson is one of the crimes prosecutors allege Combs committed as part of a racketeering charge. The judge has already moved to strike the investigator's testimony about how fingerprint cards from the investigation were destroyed without his knowledge, which he called unusual. Okay, yeah, that is kind of making it seem like, somebody had some power and influence to get these cards destroyed. Defense attorney Alexandra Shapiro said the government was trying to, imply that Combs had ordered, that the evidence be destroyed. Yeah, that was that's what I gathered. And the testimony was prejudicial enough to warrant a mistrial, because even if the testimony was struck, it would prejudice the jury. There's no way to unring the bell. There's no way for the jury to unhear. Y'all, I have not been a litigation secretary for years, but my skills is still on point. My interpretations and analysis be still pretty much accurate. That's exactly what I thought, even though I might not articulate it in the proper form because I don't do that no more. But yes, the whole mistrial was just like pure. It was like in concert, like a musical, where there's a crescendo, like, oh my God, woo, y'all. Okay, let me gather myself again. I'm going back. Let's go. Going back to Cali. I'm going. So y'all, it's crazy because Nika Knight is from California too. And so when I was leaving, because I didn't want to leave, I still miss it. Y'all know I'm going back. But I was like, I was trying to, in my mind, I was just trying to, play some little music. And I was like, I'm going back to Cali. And then the other song that was playing in my mind was like, it never rains in Southern California. Although I live in Northern California, y'all, I was just having a ball in my brain. Okay. I just be entertaining myself. Okay. So let's get back to the real stuff here. Y'all, okay, let's see. You would think that I had some Tusi or something, whatever this stuff that Diddy and them was taking, because I'm like, I'm HI. I'm high as a kite. Not literally, you guys. YouTube, strike that. Oh my God, strike that. Okay. I have to, I need to sanction myself. Girl, be quiet before you get in trouble. Okay. Back with some updates. It was quite a bit of a break, but we're back. Agnifilo, the damage is on both sides of the bottle, right? Jimenez, looks like it. Agnifilo, did Mr. Muscudi have more than one Porsche? Jimenez, I think he had a second one in the garage. Agnifilo, why isn't that in your report? Damn, they zero in on everything. They be like trying to poke holes, say, well, you weren't thorough. He got a second Porsche. Why didn't you include that one? Sir, because that one wasn't a firebomb, sir. Okay. Jimenez says it was not involved. Exactly. Like, don't sit up here and try to make me look like a clown. It wasn't, there's no point to put extra things in a report that are irrelevant. Agnifilo, you were unable to reach Capricorn Clark or Cassie Ventura. When did you reach out? Jimenez, in the first few weeks. Agnifilo, are you sure? Tell us everything about these calls. Jimenez, I believe Capricorn's brother answered and we disagreed. Okay. So is he trying to act like the man didn't do his job? Because that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. Okay, let me see. You guys, I am back because we're waiting for the next tweets. So D-Dot says pretty much. Barbara P. Hey, Barbara P. Welcome to the chat. Diddy did it. Diddy did it. Period. He was, excuse me, y'all. He was at the house. They saw his car from Bad Boy Entertainment. Yeah, but here's the thing. That's circumstantial. We know, like there was one defense attorney who was saying, you could know unequivocally that the person did it, but you got to prove it. You can use circumstantial evidence, but then again, even if you make the argument, there's still a reasonable doubt, and that's what they're trying to raise, doubt. And like he said, we know he did it. The defense was saying pretty much, yeah, we know, yes, we know he did it, but can you prove it? You right? And if they say, and if there's reasonable doubt that, well, it looks like he did. Because y'all talking about sending the person away for the rest of their life. So you kind of got to prove it. D-Dot says, I love that song. D-Dot, which one? It never rains in Southern California. Y'all have to forget. They trying to say I got the Cassie voice. Okay, like I can't sing. It wasn't me who said it. It was Capricorn Clark who said the girl wasn't talented. Not me. Diddy, I don't know. I was trying to be funny. Oh, okay. Listen, we can use some humor. Yeah. So thank you for the humor. Appreciate that. Oh, I love that song too, D-Dot. You got one of the guys just recently died. I forget which one died. Yeah, that was a sad one because I did a little something, a little Wiggins. Was it Wiggins? I forget. One of them passed. R.I.P. R.I.P. Okay, you guys, let's see. What's the latest tweet? Wait, they're getting ready to go to lunch. They're getting ready to break for lunch. Let's see. It's 12 o'clock there. But before they do, what's the last statement? Okay. What are they saying? What are they talking about? Okay. Agnifilo. You were unable to reach Capricorn Clark or Cassie Ventura. When did you reach out? Jimenez. In the first few weeks. First few weeks, sir. That's a long time. You should have been reaching out in the first couple of days. That's why you couldn't get them. Agnifilo, are you sure? Tell us everything about these calls. Jimenez, I believe Capricorn's brother answered and we disagreed. Agnifilo, and once Mr. Muscati told you it was his glove, you didn't investigate the glove anymore, correct? Jimenez, I did not. Oh, why not? Why not? See, I mean, they're raising questions like, because it's going to be somebody on the jury says, even if you say something that's ridiculous, it's going to be somebody that's going to entertain it, right? He going to say, why didn't you investigate the glove anymore? Mother Ducker, I told you it was my glove, okay? What further do you need to investigate? Oh, well, let me say this. I guess because if the glove was at the scene of the crime, maybe somebody used my glove to firebomb my car, so you needed to test it. So did you test the glove? Good point. I just answered that question for myself. My bad. Wig shift. Jimenez, I did not. Agnifilo, nothing further. Judge, redirect. Government, when did you speak with Mr. Muscati? Is it Miss Cootie or Miss Scuddy? Jimenez, same day. Government, nothing further. Okay, y'all. So they probably about to get ready to go on a lunch break. I'm pretty sure. Knowing how this judge operates, it's noon, people are tired, and they want Mia, but I don't think they're going to start Mia and then break. So let's see what happens. But y'all, this is a mess and a half, okay? Let's see what you guys are saying. Denitra, hey everyone. Hey Denitria, welcome to the chat. Denitra says, hello, everyone. Y'all, please hit that like as we come in. Denitra, if you over here, I guess you could say I am the, I don't know. We over here laughing. D-Dot got me cracking up. Lulu, we just talking crazy. We went a little off. When they said it was going to be a mistrial, you guys, I dang near had an asthma attack. So we over here just having fun. We're probably not one of the more serious ones when it comes to this particular part of the trial. I don't particularly care for the tweets, y'all. I like, because you miss stuff. Just like that's like me. Like, so I'm going back to the post, and as you can see, like the post is literally giving more details, and I'm not knocking it. Trust me. How dare a beggar? What do they say? A pauper be choosing? Because I mean, thank goodness they are tweeting it. But when you're not in there, there's so much context and stuff behind the scenes you miss out on. So anyway, so this is the Washington Post. It says day 11 of Sean Diddy Combs' trafficking and racketeering conspiracy trial brought more testimony about the alleged bombing of Kid Cudi's car in January 2012, with a Los Angeles police officer and arson investigator taking the stand. On Tuesday, former Combs employee Capricorn Clark provided emotional testimony about Combs, who was furious to find out that his on and off again girlfriend, Cassandra Cassie Ventura, and Kid Cudi, whose legal name is Scott Moscato is a wine. Blah, blah, blah. Y'all, I'm getting delirious. Okay. Just somebody smack me. Okay. We're in a relationship. Clark alleged that Combs arrived at her house brandishing a GUN, brandish, then forced her into a Cadillac Escalade. Y'all, I think I said this earlier. Let me tell you, Diddy and his crew, they don't roll in nothing but Escalades and Mercedes Sprinters. They be in like the cars, and they always black. Like me, like I be rolling up in these little Ubers, and sometimes they be beat up, red, door missing, stuff like that. That's a big exaggeration, but y'all know what I'm saying. I pulled up in one when I was because I was in New York, but I stayed in Jersey because my daughter is in Jersey. So sometimes I stayed in Manhattan a couple days, and I stayed in Jersey some days. I got an Uber in Jersey, y'all. First of all, crazy being in an Uber in Jersey. I don't know about Manhattan. I don't recall because I think I put my seatbelt on. In California, it is a law that you have to wear your seatbelt in Uber or Lyft. You have to wear your seatbelt at all times. I got over there, you guys. They made me put their seatbelt on. I'm like, hey guys, I'm not seatbelted. What's going on? What's up? And the guy was like, yeah, we don't care. I'm like, you don't care? Isn't it a law? They said no. I was just shocked. We got so many laws in California. We got so many laws. But yeah, that was crazy. You don't have to wear your seatbelt. Just a little bit of trivia. Back to this. It says, then he forced her into a Cadillac Escalade as the music mogul and security staffer left in pursuit of Kid Cudi in December of 2011. Ventura, the prosecution's star witness, has testified she was coerced into having freak-offs with male workers and as part of hundreds of freak-offs orchestrated by Combs. She also detailed numerous instances of abuse, as well as Combs' alleged routines attempt to manipulate and control people. Combs has pleaded not guilty. Yeah, this case is crazy, you guys. When I tell you, it's a lot. And a lot of people, like, I can't really get into this whole thing about the what do you call it? Stockholm syndrome. I was never an abused woman. So I'm starting to learn that it's better for me to withhold my judgment because I don't know, so I'm not going to even, because initially going into this, I thought maybe Cassie was only staying because of the money, which is a good reason. It's never a good reason to get knocked upside your head. But I was just thinking that was some of the reason. But as we get more and more into, witnesses and stories, you kind of learn that it's way deeper than that. There could be some Stockholm stuff. It could be because of the money, but definitely Diddy had a lot of power, control, and authority, and it was hard for her to get away. Seriously, if he wanted her back with the fear or the threat of being unalived or hurt, I could see why she stayed alive. So, but Capricorn Clark kind of poked a little bit of holes in that yesterday, because she was saying, Cassie had kind of said that her life, you said, yes, he did. Yes, he did. I mean, Diddy had so much control back then. Even Don, I think a lot of them are telling the truth. Don, so Michael says it's not a good reason. I think she had multiple reasons why she stayed, and I think a lot of people, there are women who stay with broke men, there are women who stay with men who beat their butts day in and day out, and they broke. It's because of love. It's because of the battered woman syndrome. It's a lot of things. And when you start coupling his kind of abuse with, trips, I think, and she was young, I think I could see it. It's hard to understand why people do what they do. It really is. And then when she got strung out on the rugs, because they said Diddy was feeding her a lot of rugs, it really became very difficult for her to leave. Michael says she wanted to be the main chick and she could never be. Yeah, she did want to be the main chick. But I think she did love Diddy. I mean, after so long, because think about it, you guys. She did try to date other men. And somebody, was it Capricorn, who said that she was saying something about if Jay-Z is already taken in, who else is there to date? That does look bad. If that statement is true, then that does look bad. But he provided a lifestyle, when we look at Cassie and say, well, why did she stay, or why did these women put up with it? Listen, I have been at jobs where I put up with shit that I didn't like because I had a kid to feed. I have put up with things that I knew were wrong, sexual harassment, everything, discrimination, a lot of things you put up with because, you just trying to keep food on the table and a roof over your head. So I've turned a blind eye to things. Without a doubt, I think we all have. It's kind of part of life. And then when you're getting the big benefits and the payouts like they are really getting the lifestyle that people would KILL for. So I think that's what makes it harder. So I think with the money being involved, that's why a lot of people didn't have empathy for Cassie, because they're like, oh, girl, you wanted it, girl. You was getting them Louis Vuitton shopping sprees. You was jumping in and out of them Maybachs, But that doesn't mean that she wasn't abused. That doesn't mean it wasn't right. Capricorn Clark even talked about how Diddy called her in and was saying, sit down, stand up, spin around. Remember that scene from it made me think about the movie Coming to America, where the girl was jumping up and down. The woman who was going to be his first bride, she was jumping up and down on one foot, coughing and barking and stuff. Diddy pretty much made her do stuff like that. She was very submissive and made like an idiot. Honestly, okay, y'all, here's another thing. I met Myron Gaines. I talked about it. I have a picture with him. I'm gonna go ahead and post my picture, because I went and asked him. I said, I heard you don't like black women, because I was gonna I was just out there to start some drama. Hell, we from YouTube, this is what we supposed to do. I need some content, okay? I'm a black woman. I want you to insult me so I can capture it on camera and talk about your ass, okay? So we were in the break room. I get you. I'm with you, Lulu. Material things. Yeah, never. I'll choose my life and my dignity, period. I done told quite a few people to kiss the right side of my black. Okay. Yeah, I feel Lauren London was with the stuff. She was down with the swirl. From what we're learning, ain't nobody within a 5-inch radius of Diddy's DICK wasn't on it. Even his babysitters, nannies, everybody. If anybody was in his circle, he tried to touch on. And some women, and if Lauren stayed that long, of course, and we know Lauren's history with the men in the industry, Lil Wayne, Nipsey. So yeah, I don't put it past. No, not at all. But so I went and asked Myron. I was like, I heard you don't like black. Of course, I didn't do it like that, you guys. That was very nice, because he already saying we loud and we wear wigs and we boisterous. So I'm not gonna go up there like that. But I asked him, and y'all, I'm just so all over the place. I don't forgot the point of this story with Myron Gaines. But anyway, I did take a picture with him. I did ask him how he felt about black women. And to be honest, he was very nice, right? So listen, y'all, my daddy is old school. He from Louisiana. He old school. And so I said, Daddy, and I asked him, he don't like black women. And I said, he was really nice. He took a picture with me. He said, yeah, man, he nice to you. He'll work with you, but he don't want you. And I was laughing because my daddy was like keeping it with 100. They will deal with you, but he don't like you. And it's like, okay, I get your point. But yeah, somebody got to get me back on track because I done forgot the whole point of this one, of that comment. I need my coffee. It's only 9:00 here. And I think I started working. It says I've been on here for 3 hours, you guys. Thank you guys for everybody that pulled up. Thank you for all the likes. A special shout out to D-Dot for all the laughs because he been up here clowning with me. Shout out to my moderator, Lulu's Divine Flow. You guys go follow Lulu on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. And of course, as always, Michael, it's good seeing you, even though you were late today, Michael. I'm just playing. But the Lauren London, yeah, so here's the thing, you guys, when you are actually at the court and you're sitting, in the courtroom and even in the lobby, I met people in the lobby, they be giving us tea, y'all. They be spilling the beans about stuff, of course they say it's off the record. But one of the things, and you guys, I keep saying this, I did get to meet Diddy's publicist, so we got some information from that. Listen, what I'm hearing, and I don't know if this is a fact, you guys, but they're saying Cassie would have been a co-conspirator. They're saying that Cassie was complicit. One of the things that they're saying was something about minors. So it's crazy because I feel like all of these people around and about Diddy, all of them were complicit. I feel like half of y'all asses should be sitting right next to him. I know they only want one person, but a lot of the things that they did, even like that video I was trying to play with Krishan Rock about Young Miami bringing women to Diddy. All of you guys did some stuff that you knew was wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's like even this guy who was interviewing with Donat the other night talking about he got 2 minors, like the girls were 1-3, y'all, and took them over to Diddy. You did some shit you knew was wrong. I don't care. Some stuff you don't have to do. So you don't get to come 10 years later and then, it's all his fault. No, he wouldn't have a fault if you didn't participate. Was he 1,000% more wrong than all of y'all? Yes, but you did it too. And you did it because you got a payout. That's why, this right here is a little bit, because, they did things. Some of the stuff that they may have done, I'm going to say allegedly, y'all may have drugged people who did not know. Why do you get off with that? Y'all know what's right and what's wrong. You don't go drugging people. You have a choice. I could have been a 304. You know how easy it would have been back in the day when I was young and thick and looking good? I could have swung and slain this nana, you know what I'm saying? But no, it's your ethics, it's your principles, it's your morals. All the women, most women in the world can sit up there and flat back and open their legs and get money or do whatever, something nefarious to the next woman for a man to get a little payout. But you know why? We don't do it because we got morals. We are daughters. We have mothers. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't feel like, that's what I kind of side eye with some of these women. Y'all was bringing other women into it. Cassie, they said that she kind of dogged Kim Porter. They said Kim Porter dogged another woman. Sarah Chapman, Diddy's baby mama, who's there at the trial now, she dogged somebody. The only person that I haven't heard who was complicit was the one from the beginning, and that was Misa Hilton. Everybody else after Misa Hilton dogged somebody else to get close to Diddy. That's how it's sounding. You know, so it's just crazy. Are these women sitting up there, woe is me now, B, because you was down with the ish helping Diddy get over on another woman, which is crazy to me. And I'm looking at the women more so because men do ish, and not to knock, you know, like the D Dots and the Michael Brown. I'm not saying, you know, all men are not like that. But what I'm saying is that as a woman, for you to bring another woman into a bad situation is wrong to me. You know what was going down. And especially when you bring young women, you know what I mean? It's sort of like, this is a little bit off topic. No, they haven't really said anything about J-Lo. Is Wendy Williams and her husband, Kevin, and that girl, Serena. The thing about, and again, these are allegations. I don't know if it's all true, because now, from what I'm learning now that I'm in this court, these proceedings, is a lot of the stuff that we heard about the freak-offs, it was not necessarily true either. The freak-offs were more like just threesomes with Diddy and his female, Cassie, and probably Kim Porter and the other women as well. But Wendy Williams and her husband allegedly had got Serena. Serena had threesomes with them when she was younger. I think she was in her early 20s, and they were already like maybe 15 to 20 years older. So see, y'all do these things with these young girls and influence them and get them in all of this mess. You know what I'm saying? It's like you are complicit. Like Wendy, Wendy got her own set of issues, and I'm a Wendy fan, so I'm not here to really bash Wendy. But what I'm saying is, when older women and mature women get young girls caught up in BS, I hate it. Like, because you could have a daughter, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like your karma should come back to kick you in your ass. That's how I feel. You know. Let me see. I've been on a ranch, guys. Let's see. So Gene Deal has told us he will not be testifying unless if it's from Gene Deal, then I'll believe it. But he said, you know, because he would be out talking to people, and he said he was not testifying. I don't know that he has any information, because you guys got to remember, the people that are testifying, maybe it could change, but the week that I was there, he said he wasn't going to be testifying. He said that outside the court and everything. You guys have to remember, even like Arbery O'Day, I'll be sure, there's a lot of people who have made allegations against Diddy, but is it relevant evidence? Can they prove it? Is it substantiated? And is it all speculation? Like, I don't believe that Diddy unalived Kim Porter. I'm not saying he couldn't have, and I'm not saying he didn't do it, but just based on Albie Shure's allegations, it's all speculative. Of course, you could say Diddy didn't like you, he didn't like him, but where's the proof and evidence? You're saying he slipped something on her. You would believe that because we've heard some horrible things about Diddy, but where's the proof? So a lot of things that we've heard, it's just people are saying things to make videos, to get you to like and stuff like that. But once the government presented its case, when you sat through the opening arguments, what we learned is that all of these freak off videotapes and everything that people said that they had confiscated, they didn't, right? And they even said themselves, the videos that we got were not found at Diddy's home. We found on Cassie gave to us. So a lot of information that people put out there before, like it was a lot of celebrities. That was the biggest shocker for me, you know, and I'm glad that I was there for the opening, because a lot of the things that they had told us, it just wasn't true. It was like, wait a minute, I thought Jay-Z and Beyonce was over in the court, and Diddy had cameras all over. Where's the footage? It's like, it's just not there. Or it could be that they don't want to use it, but I feel like Hey, Tea Lounge. Hey, girl. You guys go follow the Tea Lounge. She is a, let me put you on the screen. She is a YouTuber. She is out of New York. Girl, what part of New York? You in the Bronx? You know, all of us aren't familiar with New York. But anyway, she be doing her thing. She has been at the trial too. She been breaking it down. She is, I'm going to say, she said well, you could say, girl, I wish I could drop you the link. I'm still let me see. I think I could. You want to come up? I think I could bring you up so you could talk your ish. But she was one of the people saying in the beginning, I believe, and I don't want to misquote her, that she was kind of thinking Diddy was guilty and all this stuff, but she has been following the evidence and saying that not necessarily is not some of the stuff that we heard prior to the start of the trial is just not true. And so it's changing her perspective. Did I get that right, Tea Lounge? Yeah, you guys go follow her. The Tea Lounge, I think it's the Tea Lounge, and it's in New York, right? Michael says Ian's wanted Jay-Z to be there so bad. Yeah, Jay-Z don't have nothing to do with this. Most of what we're seeing, what we found out was that this whole indictment was initiated pretty much after Cassie dropped her lawsuit. 2 weeks after she dropped her lawsuit, they went after him. And I think also Little Rod's lawsuit, I think, supported Cassie because some of the things that he said were similar to what Cassie had said. And so a lot of this, that's why she is the Tea Lounge says Snapple Facts. That's why so much of this is centered around Cassie, like she's the star witness, because it started with her. We ain't crazy. And we know that Cassie would have been a co-conspirator. That's the only reason, I mean, I can't. Tea Lounge, help me out here. Did Cassie say she did not even want to testify? And I believe she was not a hostile witness, but I don't think she, yeah, thank you, Lulu. Yeah, you guys, we got to misspell the curse words because they flag us. I don't think she wanted to testify. The Punisher, like he even said didn't want to testify. He said, but the prosecutors aren't your friends. So basically, if they have anything over your head, they're going to force you to testify. And I feel like, and Tea Lounge, this is something we got to check out. We got to go back to that initial complaint and see if Cassie said that hotel incident at the Intercontinental, if that was in the commission of a freak off. Because I feel like once they indicted Diddy and they started started investigating, I feel like they made her change the narrative. I feel like they said, okay, well, with that hotel incident, they needed that to be a freak off and that he was dragging her back to it. They needed that to support their kidnapping. Because if it doesn't support the kidnapping, if it wasn't a freak off happening, then there was necessarily no crime there other than a domestic violence incident. And I feel like she changed it to fit their narrative because they had something over her. Again, remember the guy the security guard who did the first investigation, who did his incident report, he did not mention initially that he saw men in the hotel room that day. That's critical information because that would have proved that either they were holding her against her will, he wasn't sure what was going on, there was 2 black men, whatever. He never said that. So I feel like a lot of this stuff is happening after the fact. Yes, absolutely hitting him. Yeah, I'm surprised that Diddy was able to get away with that for so long. That's trash. That's garbage. T Lounge says, I think that they're using Capricorn for the kidnapping. No, well, yeah, they are using Capricorn, but they're also saying that Cassie was forced to continue the freak off. That was a form of trafficking. She was forced to do it. Because if they can say that was trafficking, remember he pulled her back. She couldn't leave. It wasn't a situation of her being down with it. If she wanted to do it, she was forced to do it against her will. But yes, the Capricorn is kidnapping. They have multiple instances where they're trying to show kidnapping. D-Dot says Michael Brown facts. She getting $10 million for that. Yeah, she's got money from the hotel because that video, they did not secure her. They didn't, the investigation was done improperly. They sold the videotape and all. I mean, there's so many things that they did wrong there. So that's how she's able to sue the Intercontinental Hotel. T-Line says, I didn't hear her say it, but she sure did act like she didn't want to. Yeah, I feel like she's still in love with Diddy, though. I really do. I feel like this husband, once she so the Punisher, Michael, the Punisher, his name, he got the Punisher from basketball. It had nothing to do with his member size. Another thing about the Punisher, I just showed a video of him earlier. He got a penile implant as well because he has erectile dysfunction, and he wrote a book about it. Okay, so he wasn't punishing nothing. Michael says he's going to stay in jail because he was holding some of those folks again. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get out. I don't. OG Rat says it's willing seller and a willing buyer, but it's illegal though. Prostitution is not legal. I think it's legal in Nevada, some parts of Nevada. Yeah, they got the Mustang Ranch and all that stuff. D-Dot says there was a scam with that 20,000 incidents. A scam with the 20,000 incidents. D-Dot, which one are you talking about? The T-Line says, yeah, if it was a freak off, but there's two narratives regarding. Yeah, exactly. Diddy is saying that it was they was fighting over the phone, and it was a situation of jealousy, which would lead that to be a DV. But they need to say it was a freak off to show trafficking and that she was forced to do it. So that's why that video is so important, right? And why they didn't want to. At first I heard they weren't going to use it, but that video has been critical to this case. I don't care what they say. Diddy beat mama for 20 years and she stayed out. Daddy beat mama for 20 years and she stayed out of fear. Does that make mama a victim? Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah, because there's things mentally when somebody is beating you that long, there's fear. You stay out of fear. That's mental abuse. There's a lot of things in the psyche that would cause you to become a victim to something like that. I mean, you know, I'm not gonna knock women who are like that. I have been in relationships where a man has put me down. I ain't never been hit, but I'm just saying there are so many elements in relationships where you put up with stuff that you wouldn't normally put up with, right? You know, I just been a little bit stronger than that. Like, who the fuck you think? What? I mean, but everybody is not like that. You know, it's like I'd rather be alone than to have you clown me. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not a fighter. But I will fight for my rights. Like, I don't need you if you're going to just put me there. That's not a relationship to me. However, some women are so desperate for love that even bad attention is attention. And they think that's love. Lulu says after all that treatment, she must have lost her mind. Yeah. And that's another thing. Some people are saying that maybe there's some elements of CTE. They haven't had a therapist come in or, you know, like a clinician come in and say that she has CTE, but it could be, right? You get knocked upside your head enough times because they said Diddy would stomp on her. Oh, you said, yeah, with Cassie's mom, exactly. Diddy would stomp on her in her back, on her head. Like, this man, that's low. If nothing else, Diddy, come on, bro. That's the lowest of the low. You beating up on women like that. You wasn't beating up on them men. You wasn't whipping up on them men. You needed a GUN. You needed a weapon. So you a PUSSY. That's what you are. You know, just the beatings themselves. D-Dot says with Cassie's mind. Yeah, so they didn't want that. They didn't want that testimony in there either. They didn't want her to be able to testify because I don't know if they're calling that bribery or extortion or blackmail, but yeah, that doesn't look good on his behalf, because they're saying, well, he asked for the money, but he got it right back. But they're also saying, well, Diddy was saying, I spent money on her as an artist. I want my money back. I spend money. That's fair. I mean, he's like, well, hell, give me my money. But when you say, give me my money or else I'm going to release pictures, that's where you get into the extortion and the blackmail part, D-Dot says Michael Brown, hell yeah. Lulu says blackmail, out of self-esteem. The T-Lounge says victim of what? Okay, I get it. When you're being abused, though, that's a hard one, you guys. Michael says, that's what I'm saying. The minute Diddy started slapping Cassie up, it changes everything. That boy Diddy was intimidating folks to get. He had men scared of him. He used his money and power to get what he wanted. Remember, Capricorn said that they told Kid Cudi, if you go to the police, if you tell, he's going to harm us. So Diddy was able to use coercions, threats, and fears. Everybody just acquiesced to him. Michael says he did it to Steve Stout. He did it to everybody. What about that guy, Shakir Stewart, who ended up, they said, going crazy, right? He was bullied or something. They said he unalived himself, but people are saying his mother doesn't believe that. She believes Diddy has something to do with it because Diddy had beat him up over in Italy or somewhere across the seas, right? Yeah, Diddy is definitely, he is horrible. I mean, it's the fact that he has to sit there and listen to all this testimony about himself. Because you guys remember when he was doing a lot of these crazy things, he was high, right? But now he's sober. How you think he's sitting there listening to all of this? And his girls were there. Like the first week, his daughters was sitting there with the worker came on and Cassie. And I wasn't in the courtroom with them. I saw them in the hallway, but they said that a couple of times they actually walked out. And I could see that. That would be hard to sit through and listen for girls 18. These girls are just at the beginning of their womanhood, and to hear that your father did stuff like that. Michelle Mitchell, okay, got it. She got beat up. Yeah, she did get beat up. Michael says he was making sure she couldn't have that baby she wanted. Now, Michael, here's another thing. What we learned too is that Diddy had an arsenal of drugs, child. He was making that girl take Viagra, but he also had the plan B. So if she did accidentally get pregnant, Diddy had everything. He was like a little pharmacy. So if she got pregnant, it would be nothing for him to, make her get rid of it. So Lulu said he's cruel. He has kids for crying. I know. He's sober now. So I wonder if he just is looking at himself like, damn, I did all that. T Lounge says closeted. Yes, closeted men are very violent. Yes, like because so far we haven't heard that Diddy has penetrated a man or done anything, but his obsession with the size of these other men's, and just constantly, like Cassie would say, let's bring a woman, and he wasn't down for that. So, I don't know. D-Dot says Cassie was getting yes. I even said that the first thing. It was like a pimp HOE situation to me. That's what it was. I mean, Cassie was the downbeat. Kim Porter was the woman publicly for years, and Cassie was the one who would do everything. He was like a PIMP. He was. That's how I felt. T says, I mean, yes, mama was a victim, but what should daddy's charges be? Oh, that's a good point. I like that. Yeah. That's true. There's some accountability, like wherein do you stop being the victim and you take charge for your life? Diddy basically making excuses to make himself seem like he's not a bad guy. Diddy is an a-hole. But remember, the defense team came out and said he's a bad guy. He's an a-hole. His publicist even said he's this type of guy. He's a that type of guy. But should he be up for racketeering? Maybe not. Yes, Shakir Stewart. Those plan, Michael says those plan Bs come in handy. Yeah, but what about the damages was probably doing to her body though? If he was having her, she has sores in her mouth, y'all. Diddy had men being in a mouth, like, oh my God. I mean, y'all, listen, it's just, I could be by myself. I could be by myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, Cassie. I'm not trying to be judgmental, but it's some ish you're not gonna get me to do it. Like, I'm a germaphobe, number one. So I don't even like being nowhere at certain part. Listen, I'm not playing with nobody's extra body parts. I'm doing the basics. Okay. So, and then you gonna try to go to the bathroom in my mouth. I don't even like drinking behind people because I don't know where your lips been. So you're not in my mouth. Oh no, good Lord. And if you even ask me that, it's we not cool no more. The fact that you even asked me, y'all gotta remember, back in our day, we had the old aunties. You know how like everything is more progressive? Back in my day when I was, young and impressionable and out there wilding like the young girls do, first of all, Black women, we were known to not do the orals. Okay. Back for us, I'm talking about in my mom's generation, that probably was very taboo. You was just if you did that, and I don't mean literally, but so I had one of my aunties, she probably would be 100 now, child, because she was old back then. But she told her, and she used to be like she was a woman of the night. Back then, they didn't call them a woman of the night. She was a kept woman. So she had different men. She was very light-skinned, blonde hair, blue eyes. She could pass. So back in the day, one day I'll show a picture of her. But she was they didn't call them pros back then, but she was, she was taken care of. So she used to tell us, if a man asks you to put his, stuff in your mouth. Now this is back when I was like in my 20s, y'all. So I would listen to, because these are the aunties, they teaching us how to be young ladies. She was like, if a man asks you to suck him, now basically he's calling you a dog. That's what dogs do. If a man, you slap him if you can, and if you can't, you get up, you get your purse, you put your shoes on, you get your keys, and you leave his presence. If he say something like that, that's what because he's calling you a dog. He's saying you should be crawling on all four. Now, I remember my Aunt Marguerite telling me, it was about 4 of my cousins, and we all like in our 20s, 25. One of my cousins dated Eddie Murphy. It was Julie's, it was her grandmother that was telling us. So she was like an aunt, right? So we were sitting there, and that because they were schooling us. And I was like, what if they, but y'all, by the time she had told us that, listen, we was all kind of laughing to ourselves because she said, if he asked you to do it, he calling you a dog. And we was all later, we said, we all want to say, ruff, 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 because, it was crazy. But anyway, y'all, I got off topic. Let me get back on topic. Dida says, mouth got abused real nasty. Oh my God, that poor girl. I'm not thinking, Cassie, wasn't there a trigger in your mind saying, hell the F no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. No. I was asked to do a threesome before. No, no, I don't want to. I'm not doing it. And I'm not saying, I'm not knocking people, but I know my little mind and how possessive I am, it just wouldn't be cool with me. I'm not with that. Oh, no. So, and if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to, and I'm not going to do something to please you because I know it's going to make me hate you down the line. If you got me doing stuff that I'm against, it's not going to be a good situation for us because I'm going to be thinking you freak mother ducker. No. So, I mean, I'm Cassie. Like, no offense, but who raised you, girl? Wait, let me see. Y'all, I'm off the. Wait, who is Kevin? Okay. So Kevin says, Cap, I don't know. Your day was lame. I don't know what Kevin's talking about. Whatever. So D-Dot says Diddy's a diaper snatcher. Okay. Michael says you got that artillery. Lulu says, yeah, Kevin, what are you talking about? Child, Kevin, he don't know. He probably didn't take his medicine today. T Lounge says maybe she wasn't against. I mean, maybe not. It's all good. But see, that's the problem we have. And you wasn't against it 20 years ago, but you're against it now for you need a payday. Like, that's the problem I have with some of it. Cassie definitely was a victim. I'm going to say she was a victim. But what I keep saying is that you can't write emails and have things saying, oh, I can't wait till we have another freak off. I love it. You know, and then come back 20 years and say, well, I didn't really mean it. That's a hard one for us to really, can we, let me see. Let me just take Kevin out of here. Kevin, you getting us up. We having fun over here. We don't, I don't know what's up. Maybe you didn't get to go to the doctor today. I don't know. Anyway, I just banned Kevin, y'all. He's out of here. D-Dot said, Kevin, go see Dr. Phil. D-Dot, do you think Dr. Phil gonna let Kevin in? You think Dr. Phil gonna let Kevin anywhere up near him? That would be a no. Oh, Kevin was talking about back in the day. That's the day. Oh, I don't know, y'all. But anyway, you guys, it's not even 10 o'clock here. I still got to get my coffee. Y'all, I've been up here wilding, and I ain't even have, in the Bay Area, we say getting hyphy. I've been up here getting hyphy, and I ain't even had no coffee. I don't know what I woke up on today, but I hope I have it tomorrow. Shit, it was good. But I got to go. I'm going to go get some coffee and then come back and see about Mia. Y'all, I think I found a Mia. I saw Kim Porter talking. Damn, I wish I could show you guys really quickly. Kim Porter did a video where she was being asked some questions, and she was walking with this young lady, and she referred to her as Mia. So I was wondering if that's her. If I find the video, maybe I'll play it later, but by then we'll probably know. No, T Lounge, no, it's cool. We're not tripping. But I want to know who Mia is, because I'm not in the court today. So I wonder who she is, what she looked like. Oh, we'll see a sketch, and then I can let you guys know if Mia, but they're saying that it's an alias. So it's probably not the same woman who Kim Porter was with. But if it is, I'll be able to pull up another picture of her, a little video that her and Kim Porter did. Oh, Mia, you see Mia? You said Mia, but the one that I think is Mia is, wait, is Mia African American or what? Because it was one Mia with Kim Porter, an old video. She was Asian. Michael, is that her? Because who is Mia, the assistant? They said her name, but they changed her name. Yeah, I know it's his assistant, but this girl who was with Kim Porter was like an assistant too, and she had referenced her as Mia, and it was a video, and it was an Asian girl. I'm just trying to figure out who Mia is, like in terms of what she looked like. Who was she? Was she black? What? Because then that means it's not the girl I thought it was. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna hop up out of here. T Lounge, I'll be back. I'm coming back. So are you? You saw her? Oh, Sharnice says she saw her IG. She's beautiful. What is the IG, y'all? Tell me. I may have seen her in passing. So is it Sharnice? What's her IG? So we could all take a look. Because Michael says she bad. She bad. She's a star. Michael says she bad. What's her name? Because they're calling her Mia. I hope Trump's. Dom T, I'm sorry, I thought you were D Dot, my bad. Dom T, hey, welcome to the chat. Yeah, Trump just pardoned the Christies. D Dot, I thought that was you. I saw that green dot. I was like saying D Dot, but it's Dom T. But anyway, D Dot, yeah, he pardoned the Christies. And some people are saying, Michael Sweet, he said, you bad. She bad. Y'all, I'm making up songs. Michael, who is the girl? Where is the girl? We want to see this bad chick, y'all. Listen, you guys, it was a lot of gorgeous women. I'm straight, but I could give another woman a props. It was a lot of pretty women. at the trial, there's a lot of pretty women, and they come. I don't know if they're coming, because they know they're going to be on camera. Some of them are. You got to be camera ready. Tisa becoming camera ready. But they, Dom T says, just kidding. Hell, if you want him to pardon Diddy, hey, that's what you want. No problem. It's all good. Then women be stepping up in there. They be having on stilettos. I'm like, how the hell are you walking in stilettos? Because we got to go through security. We got all these places to walk. Listen, but these ladies, they hair be flying, makeup be on point. Hair, you could tell the hairspray just sizzling off the edges of their hair, right? The makeup, everything. And it's women that we see on TV. It's like, whoa. T Lounge says even the publicist is pretty. Yeah, we saw the publicist. She is pretty. Holly Beard. She's really nice too. Does anybody have, before I get off, I want to go to, I know they feel, woo, they be tipping like it's not killing them, no. They be acting. I had to wear my sneakers because, I ride in with Max V, and so we walk to court. So we have it's a good, maybe, I won't say a half a mile or something. But anyway, we walk in there. So I have my little tennis shoes on. And again, I'm from California. I don't care if it's raining outside. We liable to throw on some Birkenstocks and some flip-flops, just like they do in Hawaii. So all these wearing shoes and stuff, that's not my stilo. No, I'm like, hell, am I? And I get my toes done. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Y'all, you guys know I walked up in there with the freak off nails. I had one hand with the white nails, and I told you guys, I think it was day 2. I ran up. The bathrooms were on overflow, so I ran up to the room where the court is on, where the main court, and I ran up there to use the bathroom, and y'all, lo and behold, I saw one of the girls who was with Diddy's group had the white nails. Just shocked the shit out of me. I'm like, that's weird. I did it as a joke, but y'all doing it for real. It was crazy. And that's the day I saw Sarah Chapman. Sarah Chapman is the one who used to go with Tupac, who's Chance's mom. She's a very tall, pretty woman. She was standing at the center of them. And I was just like, did he got all these, like it's like a cult. It's like a cult. The one lady, and I told you guys they kind of looked at me crazy because I had on the Celebrity Scandalous t-shirt, because they kind of getting tired of the press and stuff. And then I was up there on their floor, and they all kind of gave me this. I said, let me get my ass up out of here, because they couldn't do nothing to me, but it just felt so, when a group of women, they just kind of look at you like, get your ass up out. That's how it felt. That ain't nail polish. It's just okay. Man, I was just surprised. And you guys know Misa came one day. She said she came to support Justin. I think his name. Yeah, I be getting these kids' names confused. But she had a slip and fall. She had injured herself. So she was walking on like a little walker or something. Well, y'all haven't told me who you guys haven't said who the assistant is, so I guess I'll go find out. I'm gonna try to go run and get some. I might try to get dressed. I already got my shower, so maybe I could throw on some clothes so I could come on live later. But y'all, you guys, Misa and Mary J hitting Vado. Yeah, Misa and Mary J, they're having some situation. I don't know if it's a court case or something, but yeah, they having issues. But y'all go check out. Listen, right now, the hottest thing out there is the issue, the little beef between Donat, Gene Deal, and Tisa. Man, it's outside the courtroom. It's drama. So I'm about to go see. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. Okay, yeah, lawsuit. Okay, Vado. Yeah, the Vado is the person between the both of them. Okay, yeah, I heard that. Y'all gotta go. Damn, I think they're gonna be back in court in a minute, you guys, because they only get usually he tells them to be back at 12. So I think court's getting ready to start again. Let me see. Oh man, I didn't even get to get my coffee. Okay. Okay, so I guess they're coming back at 1:15. Okay, you guys, so I'm gonna hop off. I might jump back on if I can make it fast enough, because I did want to try to get dressed. I haven't had a chance to get dressed and stuff. Just yesterday, now they're enemies. They beef and they was cool yesterday. Who you guys talking about was cool yesterday? Oh, are you guys talking about Mary J. Blige and okay, D-Dot. Yeah, let me hurry up and I'll just throw up a quick little, as they say, blase. I could think a quick little thumbnail and get back on. Because okay, so the next person to testify, I think is going to be the former stylist Mia. Okay, y'all. Let me get off here. Go get my coffee. If I get some coffee, y'all, I might go crazy. Oh no, Gene Deal is cool with Tisa. No, Gene Deal and no, Donat is going up against Gene Deal and Tisa. Yes, and Gene Deal loves Tisa. Yeah. It's not Tisa. Tisa doesn't have a problem with Gene Deal. Tisa has been trying to get an interview with him, but everybody's been bum rushing him as he comes into court, and so. Is Donat who Tisa and them? I mean, Donat is pissed because Tisa kind of, what's that word when you're doing a video and somebody jumps in it? It's not firebomb. Y'all know what I'm saying? Yeah, it is funny. He's getting his content. Y'all can't deny that. He is making a name for himself. So, when you photobomb. So basically, Donat, the first day that he was there, he was yelling something out to Gene saying, well, you was at all the parties, what did you complete something? I know you know something. And Gene was ignoring him. But then Tisa ran up on, photobomb. Thank you, T-Lounge. So Tisa kind of got into it and got Gene's attention. And of course, he started talking to Tisa and kind of ignoring him. So then, like Donat, because Donat did the ASAP Rocky trial too. When he goes on his trials, he always gets a sound bite and he gets attention. Y'all call him a clout chasing bozo. He doing his job, you guys. He's getting content. He's doing what he's supposed to. But anyway, so he was a little bit annoyed that Tisa had just jumped in the little seat and got Gene Deal, took his attention away or whatever. So then Tisa was trying to do a little interview, a sidestep interview, like right before you come into court. And then Donat started yelling, disrupting her interview with Gene Deal like days later. So now it's going back and forth, y'all. It's going crazy. And then Donat, there's another video. Oh my God, Takeem, you said Tisa running around like she high off pink. Oh Lord. Tisa grinding, y'all. Listen, I was one of the few content creators that was chilling shit. I told you guys, I was like Rumi Carter. Hey, like I'm having a good time. Everybody else getting their cameras together and going live, y'all. And I'm running around like, hey, let's go over here. Let's do this. Let's do that. Because I was excited to be in New York, number one. So, I was like a kid that ain't been outside in years. D-Dot said off that Tucci. Y'all crazy. Listen, I'm off some Tucci right now. Not literally, y'all. Listen, you can't say stuff on the YouTube because people take it seriously. I'm just saying it feels like it. I ain't even had my coffee and I'm bouncing off the walls. Shit. So, yes, Takeem says selfie sticks everywhere. Yeah, people was running out, selfie this. Listen, I'm too old. I don't move like that, y'all. I can't. I'm like, listen, they was calling me the rich auntie from California, y'all. So I'm straight up giving auntie vibes. I'm not moving that fast. Hell, I don't even know what's going on. I'm not wearing the stilettos. I'm sliding up in I didn't wear house shoes, but but it's fun. It's fun. So, Takeem says, I'm in Connecticut. Okay, New York City. Yeah, it was crazy. Like it was sensory overload. Like if y'all see where I live and stuff and how it's a bunch of trees around and I'm from the Bay Area. And it's like, it's not the suburbs, but it's one of them areas where it's quiet, it's hillside, it's peaceful. Coming to New York, when I tell you, It was crazy. All of the traffic. I think one day it took us 2 hours to get to Jersey. The people blowing their horns. I mean, it was exciting. I must say, it was like being in a movie. Yeah. Okay, y'all. I really got to pop off because they're getting ready. They're going to be going back into court and I'm going to miss it. So let me get my coffee, my fake Tucci, YouTube. My coffee is my Tucci. So I could be bouncing off the walls. Pull all them damn, oh my God, it was crazy. I wasn't driving. But I do have toll bills that we have in. No. I wasn't driving. But we get the same thing in the Bay Area because when I cross the bridge to go to where I work, same thing. We get them after the fact. What rhymes with Tucci? Okay, Michael, you on timeout. It's too early in the morning for you to be playing like that. Man, and this y'all need to stop. Listen, if you listen, after you hear a Diddy, all this stuff about Diddy, I swear one day I was like looking at, I said, why are these things looking like male parts to me? I think he had talked it was so much sex talk, y'all. I was starting to see stuff. Like I was getting delusional. I'm like, God, Lord, it was nasty. I need to, I'm probably going to have to sage. Okay. When I'm telling you the first, and I don't even know why his daughters was in there. Cause that had to be when something is traumatizing to hear that your daddy was doing all this stuff and then getting the men's juices rubbed on his chest. And I'm trying to put it in a very nice way because that's not how it was said in court. In court, they was using the graphic terms, y'all. I was like grabbing my fake pearls. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. So I know his girls heard an earful. Okay, y'all, I'm going to bounce. I got to run downstairs, get my coffee so I can be ready for this next session. So thank you guys for joining me. I love you guys. I've had a blast. Y'all entertain me more than I entertain myself, okay? Thank you. You guys, I'm losing my voice because y'all have me up here laughing and acting a fool. Yeah, that was a shocker. When they said that, people in the courtroom was like, we was all gasping, like, what? But yeah. Okay, D-Dot, I'll see y'all in a minute. Okay, bye.